Oh my goodness. All right, let me give freaking antivirus. You kidding me? How's it going, everybody? Give me a second. All right, here we go. We are back, and look, we are at the Shrine of Boethia, so something nasty's about to happen, right? Let's do some introductions here. Who do we got? We got Magus. Welcome, Magus, in before the carnage. Well, let the carnage begin, right? Carnage TM. Mr. B, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend, buddy. Your boy Nobody is running just how, you know, he should be. We all expect your boy Nobody to be running for the entire stream, which is 3 hours, so wish him luck and his sore arms and his knees. Let's see, who else? Your boy Nobody just got done flipping a tire. Yep, all right. Aikai Toichi. Oh yeah, you commented on the Shaman Assassin build guide. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are having a good weekend as well. I think you mentioned getting some inspiration from Diablo for a warrior type character, and that's what this guy is to an extent. I liked your ideas for switching out the Magicka bar for a Fury bar and using that. I gotta let that percolate in my head for a while because I think that there's something there. Just gotta find the right spells. You know, be pretty good.
Today I'll try something new, like a vegetable or something.
PA. Okay. Oh, so your boy Nobody comes from PA as well, huh? Running in Florida, man. That's gotta be tough in the summer. There's P. Miller, the poemer. Hello to you as well. Just catching up on chat here. Ah, Madam Bofax Featherquill. It's got disability, except okay. 2 years of back pay. There you go. Got my hair cut into a wavy bob cut. That's awesome. Sounds like you are on a roll. Congrats, congrats. Well done.
That shrine of Azura?
All right. Let's see. Stenvar. Sorry, I feel like we barely knew you, but I got something for you here. I need you to do something.
Just tell me who needs bludgeoning.
Well, no bludgeoning this time, but I've heard that this weird plinth pillar thing here, this it tastes like cookies and mead, and it also gets you real drunk, like I know you Nords like to get. So why don't you try putting your tongue on that thing? I promise it won't stick. Oh ho ho ho. Now for this, I know a lot of you probably are familiar with this quest line and everything. The quest says to use the Blade of Sacrifice, but you don't have to, as long as you just kill the guy. Boom. It'll work.
Wearing flesh is so...
Yeah, especially that one. I don't think Stenvar showers much. Poor Stenvar. I feel like everybody uses Stenvar for this because he's so close. He's a vanilla follower. Not much going on there except for just, you know, the regular old $500 or 500 septum entrance fee. No backstory to speak of or anything. He does have a name, so I'm sure people have roleplayed him being a best friend or whatever, but because he's the closest follower available to everybody for such a low price, I feel like he's the one that gets ganked for the for Boethia all the time. Yeah, my reasons are my own. So yeah, we are wielding Orcish gear, and I'll go through that once we kind of get through this this first initial action phase. But this does have roleplay implications. He's going to be a little bit more cantankerous, a little more grumpy, a little more bloodthirsty in the figurative sense. He's not a vampire. He probably won't be. I think I want to save that for more of a Blood Knight type character if I'm going to do a vampiric warrior. Pure warrior should be, you know, just the warrior stuff. I'm not afraid of you. That is so.
You should be.
My hammer's bigger.
Without fear is something.
Boo, I knew Magus would have something to say about that.
Perhaps you are the one I seek. We shall soon find out.
He's the same one you sacrificed with your shadow cloud? Yeah, it's the path of least resistance. No vampirism, my ass.
Hear me.
I hope your ass doesn't have
I am in
vampirism.
need of a warrior.
That is
Only the
an
most
exit-only
ruthless, cunning,
orifice
and
there.
agile will do.
If you had a vampiric ass,
You have gathered here night
that would be
after
really
night,
awkward for everybody living with you, I think.
sacrificing fools upon my shrine and sparring aimlessly with yourselves. But which among you truly exceeds the rest?
Oh, now they're booking it.
Prove yourselves.
Okay,
to
now
me.
I'm gonna do a quick save right here because there is a mage. I'm not really, I'm at armor cap, so I'm not really too concerned about physical damage. But there is a mage down there somewhere. I want to try to pick them out. Whoever's slanging the lightning is the one that's gonna get it first. I see her over there. I think I just killed, Oh, wow, the paralysis didn't work on that one. Okay. That went a lot better than it could have. I was looking for more kill cams or whatever, and I wanted to show off Volendrung with Zim's Immersive Artifacts, the Artifacts Overhaul mod. That's why I went for that spinning sideways attack a couple times.
Now the time has come for a final proving. Are you able to cast aside your honor?
You've literally
and
grated
strike
cheese on your butt.
the hidden blade?
I don't want to know, but at the same time, I kind of want to know. That sounds like a train wreck situation. Okay, I'll do whatever you ask. Honor is a
An
coward's
astute
tool.
observation. Skyrim is a beautiful and harsh mistress.
Always
But her
sacrifice the
people cling
Bosmer
to
in
such a
Riverwood.
petty
You don't like
notion of honor.
Feindal? Are you a
My
Sven?
previous champion displeases me.
You've always been a Sven lady, I guess.
It is time he is replaced. In the tradition.
Thanks for that one, Karn. Now I'm picturing a cartoon ass with fangs trying to bite people. Not a person, just a butt. Well, you're welcome. At least your Saturday will get off to an entertaining start, I suppose. All right, where can I find him?
You will find him holed up at Knife Point Ridge.
Holed
where he
up?
plays king to bandits and highwaymen.
Aikai, you've also literally grated cheese on your butt? Or you're visualizing that vampiric butt. Okay, let's see. What has he done to displease you? All right, no, I'll go kill him.
Kill every single member of his band. Do so as silently and invisibly
I dare, and
as
lots
you
of
can.
alcohol, low
But
body
this
fat, dense
is
bone
not
structure, and
about
very
you.
many rough hairs.
You are to be my
This sounds like a
instrument
Bill
in
Brasky thing.
Slay him in the coldest of blood. Do not give him the dignity of defending himself.
Oh, we're talking about the
Once
Bosmer.
his corpse
Okay.
lays cold
Good.
upon the ground, and all trace of his followers erased. Retrieve.
So,
my
okay, why
heavenly
Feindal?
veil. A gift
That's my
fit
question.
only for my
Does he just rub you guys the
true
wrong way?
champion.
Like your boy Nobody rubbed the cheese the wrong way on his butt? Okay, we're not accepting Boethia. We're in sort of an orcish phase right now. I don't think we're ready to take on a Daedric deity at the moment. Wow. Gore has achieved Zen. Look, he's meditating and levitating. Meditating? Levitating? Mevitating. I like mevitating better. Damn. He really is the true weapon master. So, yeah. Roleplay wise, Gore is our mentor. He is a former champion in the arena at Cyrodiil. And Fortius grew to idolize him as a child, and now he's met up with him again in Skyrim. His dearly departed father set up a contract with Gore to help train Fortius the rest of the way to becoming maybe the greatest warrior Tamriel has ever seen. So it's kind of a group effort between his father, who was a lieutenant of General Jonah. Ooh, perform RK's rights. We can do that. Yeah, we're still on RK right now. We get a saving roll. As a devotee of RK. which does make a little more sense of what we were doing with Kinnereth. I think that we'll be continuing with the Imperial Pantheon for this Imperial warrior. Grabbing all the Aranya. Named... Okay, I'm not sure if this is a Creation Club thing I'm not familiar with or a mod thing that I'm not familiar with. So let's read this. Read Aranya's journal. Locate the ancient warrior's tomb. My name is Aranya, Imperial Historian. I would have guessed elf by the name. My research on ancient artifacts has led me across the sands of elsewhere in the forests of Valenwood, and now it has led me to the inhospitable north of Skyrim. My query is that of Goldbrand, okay, so CC, a gold katana said to have been forged by dragons and embodies the power of the Daedric Prince Boethia. The blade has passed through many hands, most recently those of Emperor Titus Mede II. He was rumored to have possessed it during the Battle of the Red Ring. After the battle, Mede II, or one of his agents, had it returned to the tomb of the one said to have originally possessed the blade, Sivdur, an ancient Nord warrior who fought in defense of the dragons, and there, in Sivdur's Respite, is where Goldbrand is said to reside. Mede II was said to have felt that he lacked the right to claim the blade, and that it should return to the one who was first entrusted. No direct record of the location of Sivdur's Respite exists in the Imperial archives. However, I discovered a strange missive on a mission involving precious cargo, and along with it, a map. As it turns out, this was the only record of the mission to return Goldbrand to Skyrim, and the map led to Sivdur's Respite. It lies in a cave in the mountains just north of Windhelm. Okay, so that's close. We could do that. Based on my findings there, I have other business to attend to now. It would seem I have some traveling yet to do. I have documented my findings in a separate journal on the topic. I'm starting to believe I may have attracted unwanted attention. A group of dangerous cultists who worship the Daedric Prince Boethia are said to gather near Windhelm, and Goldbrand's whereabouts would no doubt be of interest to them. I already feel like I see the same faces as I pass strangers along the road. I should be careful. Indeed. Looks like your suspicions were correct, but you were not careful enough. Avenging Wraith. That's expensive enough. Training is very expensive at this point, so we're grabbing whatever we can with a high value to weight ratio. Even a 2-to-1 ratio isn't really high enough. Oh, here we go. The Ritual Armor of Boethia. It's a great set added by Immersive Armors, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Magus is using this for his Shadow Claw character currently. Awesome set. We're over encumbered. All right. Gore, come hold my cucumber, please. Gore holds the cucumber better than anybody else he's ever known. Carry my burdens. Ritual Shroud of Boethia. You're able to move quietly while sneaking, and opponents that get too close will be slowed by despair. That's an awesome enchantment. I don't think I can disenchant that one, but I can try. It's not going to be useful for the warrior anyway, because he doesn't really sneak at all. Let's see, anything else here that's taken up? Yeah, we got some stuff. I need to use that troll skull to build some enchanting supplies.
Let's go.
Hybrid Avenger, welcome, welcome. You're having a good weekend so far. I'm on a treadmill, by the way. I'm not suicidal. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Hey, thanks for the link to Hybrid Avenger there. Yeah, Hybrid streams pretty regularly on Twitch. Go check him out. Endgame gear. There you go. Make a salad with the cucumbers. I like your thought. Make lemonade out of lemons. Make salad out of cucumbers. Too much information. That's the specialty of a Karn stream. I can't not overshare. See no link? Haster posted one up a little bit. I see an https://www.twitch.tv/hybrid-avenger. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Right at home is you're the definition of TMI. Yeah, I feel like we have some kindred souls here in the stream. My wife actually loves it when I overshare. That's what I believe anyway. That's not exactly what she says, but I'm sure that's what she means. Okay, so what else can we do out here? I think that we have a quest for, I don't remember the guy's name now, the blacksmith over here for Queen Freydis's sword. I can't believe I made it all the way through that Aranya's journal, like perfectly, like professionally, without stumbling over my words once. And then I try to say Queen Freydis once, and then I just turn into a gurgling mess. And then we also have a bounty for the Jarl over here, or for the steward, I guess, for a giant. All right, so I was gonna mention the gear here and what this orcish phase is all about, right? So to add a little bit of roleplay flair to what's usually a pretty dry class in the warrior, I decided to take on each of the racial armors, and then as we progress through the ranking of those armors, you know, all the way up through Daedric and even Dragonbone if we get there, he's going to start taking on the aspects, like the personality aspects of that race. So before it was the Dwemer, so he was very curious, he was very logical and measured about everything. He had a bunch of Dwemer gear that he was using. Now he is taking on the orcish aspects of things, so he is going to be impatient, he's going to be brash, he's going to be bloodthirsty and violent, and he's going to be cantankerous as all hell. So this should be fun, right? PC's getting too hot to be in your room. I got the same thing going on here. Yeah, it's super hot. There's, I don't know, they've had extreme heat warnings now for like, I feel like it's been 2 months at this point, so it's like you just start, you know, ignoring the extreme heat warnings. But yeah, in the afternoons it gets hot in here because my room, my computer, I face west, where the sun goes down, so I got the sun shining on my wall and my computer going in the afternoon, and that, yeah, makes for some swamp ass, that's for sure. Not vampiric swamp ass, just swamp ass. Okay, so where are we off to? Let's, should we head north? Or should we go south? Let's go south. We'll knock out, Queen Freydis and the giant out here. Maybe get some map markers on the way. Oh yeah, and let's talk about the gear here. What gear am I wearing? This is the Creation Club stuff, the AE alternate armors, the Orcish plate. The enchanted set that gives you a little quest to go do to get them. I think the Crimson Dirks quest, each one of them kind of wears one of these. I don't remember which one this one was, but the enchantments on it are fairly good. So for on the chest, we have block 17% more damage with your shield. I don't believe you actually need to be equipping a shield for that. I think it's just a straight block enchantment. I think Magus would know better or not, but I don't think it requires a, I don't think it requires that. No Headman's Cleaver. I debated on that because for the warrior, for his arsenal, he's got one two-handed, one one-handed, and then a shield, and then a bow or crossbow. So for the two-handed, I had to debate between Volendrung and the Headsman's Cleaver. And I went with Volendrung because the enchantment on it was a little more interesting. I know Warhammers, but that's one cool. It is a cool item. It's one of my favorites, and actually I patched it so that it works with the halberd. I think it's the halberd animations from Animated Armory. Yeah, very cool. The CC Stalrim looks cool. Oh yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but we will. So for the Nord aspect, I don't know whether to do the Stalrim or the Nordic carved stuff. We'll probably do the Nordic carved stuff because it is more racial. I guess Ebony and Stalrim is kind of non-racial as far as the materials go. You going to wear Stalrim over Ebony? CC replacer set. I think I'll try them both. I'll see which one looks cool. We can do kind of a cryomancer type enchantment on our weapons, I guess, and then we could do the Stalrim with that, or we can do Ebony and do more of like a Death Knight. Well, Death Knight, more like I think that would go well with like the sword of Mafala. I like the Nordic car stuff. It is a little goofy, you know, but all the racial sets are the. If you think about it, like the Elvish set is goofy, the Dwarvish set is goofy, the Orcish set is goofy. So vampire now? No. Death Knight? No. No, more of like just a sort of like a Reaper type character, I think. Skyroll, welcome, buddy. I don't think I've seen your name, but welcome. Get Umbra with Ebony armor. That sounds cool too. Show yourself out now. But yeah, we're supposed to be focusing on the Orcish stuff, right? We're supposed to be ripping and tearing our way through Tamriel. So, get into it. All right. So on the boots, we have carrying capacity for a bigger cucumber. On the gauntlets, we have weapon and armor. This is a smithing one. 25% is nothing to sneeze at, though. That's better than anything I could self-enchant or have actually found in the vendors yet. So it doesn't really help in combat, so kind of a throwaway if you're trying to fight with these things, which we are, but you know. And then on the Orcish plate helmet, heavy armor grants 17% more armor. This is a Winter Sun, not Winter Sun, Summer Mist overhauled enchantment. I think in the latest 4.x release of Winter Sun, and Nye has changed this from just a flat, you know, armor points to a percentage. So that helps it scale better as you get higher up in your armor rating and higher level. This enchantment actually stays more viable all the way through. So that is a good change. And then on the amulet, we're still wearing Mikruel's amulet fragment with Zim's immersive artifacts, which gives you both a 10% boost to combat skills and a 10% boost to your progression in all combat skills. I am wearing the Goblet of Infinite Grace for Winter Sun, which gives us the Shrine Blessing whenever we pray to our deity, which right now is RK. On the cloak, on our physics-enabled fur cloak, which I think goes quite nicely with the Orcish plate stuff, 3% chance per second to restore 37 points of health, magicka, and stamina. This is like a renewal or something, a refresh or something like that. I don't remember what the enchantment was called, but this is also another Winter Sun one. Very powerful, just randomly. 3% chance, doesn't sound like that much, but per second, like every second of the time that you're in the game, you get a chance to restore 37% or 37 points of any of these. It's really good. Kind of a weaker enchantment at this point because we don't have anything, no investments, no perk investment into the enchantment skill tree, but still very, very helpful. And then we have a Forgotten Magic Redone ring. This is mainly just for the plus 30 health. It's just the most powerful enchantment that we have. The Magicka and the Meteors count don't really do anything because we're not casting any spells, but that health boost could literally be a lifesaver there. I'm also not running Shadow of Skyrim for this, so I want to focus on skill progression and gameplay and just finding synergies and working through our weapon types and our enchantments and things like that, just to find cool new ways to leverage the gameplay of the warrior, focus more on that instead of survival. So that being said, the RK saving roll might come in handy a little bit, but is not as important as it would be for like a permadeath or an alternate death run. And Windfall, that's it. That's the one. Good job. Good call. Skyroll knows his enchantments. Very nice. Shadow Rend would look cool with Ebony too. Yep. I kind of want Zim to go through and overhaul the enchantments on all of the CC uniques as well, because a lot of them are very kind of vanilla and bland as far as the enchantments go. For unique, like powerful artifacts, like these legendary artifacts, I feel like they should have oh look, we have multiple rabbits. Magus would just blow all of them up in one shot if he could. With all this heavy plated armor here, I don't think we're as fast as a rabbit, unfortunately. We're just a walking tank. Oh, and then for weapons, I forgot about the weapons. So yeah, I smithed up, this is an Ansolil warbow, which is usually more of an Argonian thing. The Ansolil is what Argonians call their own race and their own people. But you do craft this with the Orcish smithing perk. And it does have that kind of like dark green, sort of savage aesthetic to it. So, you know, since he's an Imperial taking on an aspect of an Orc, I don't think we should just go complete like savage mode. I did like the looks of this one. I thought it fit the theme pretty well. So I crafted one up here. I, you know, smithed it up, tempered it, honed it, and enchanted it with armor reduction. So this will reduce the target's armor rating by 100 points for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is quite a long time in battle, so we do have some opportunity to get a few swipes in after we hit with the bow. The problem is it does take so long to sheathe your weapon and then unsheath the next weapon. I kind of wish that I talked about Magus. He said it might be something buggy that would cause crashes, but if we could remove the sheath and unsheath animations and just make it like an instant switch, that would really enable a lot of things for this build. That's something I still have to look into. Maybe I can get it to work, maybe not. We'll see. And then for the one-hander, I have the Orcish Saber, which is kind of the same look as the Ansolil Warbow, a little more sleek than your regular Orcish stuff. And on that one, we have a stacking poison that deals 2 points of damage for 10 seconds, and it's completely out of... Oops. No items to charge enchantment? Oh, I don't have any... Yeah, I need to get some filled soul gems for that one. He is out of enchantment. Interesting. I don't remember what I spent that on. Yeah, I have no idea. And then, of course, we have Volendrung over here. This is the legendary Daedric artifact of Malakath, the Orcish pariah Daedric prince. This thing is pretty vicious. I don't actually remember what the vanilla enchantment on this is, but with Zim's immersive artifacts, it will absorb 50 points of stamina, and then the sideways power attacks will paralyze a target for 5 seconds. And in my experience, the paralysis effect procs like all the time. I haven't had it fail once, except for that last fight with that mage. And I think that was probably just because she was already staggered and getting ready to go down anyway, but we'll see. The trick with this is finding a spot to do that sideways power attack, because that attack takes a long time. This is probably the slowest attack in the game, maybe aside from the sprinting forward power attack. So what I'm usually going to do is go for a timed block, which in Wildcat causes a stagger. And then while they're staggered, I'm just going to transition right into a sideways power attack. I can also get Gore to tank for me and then I can get in around whoever Gore is tanking and do it there too. But I am actually trying to level up two-handed right now as well. That's fallen behind. Ooh, here we go. Oh, dumbass bear. They're fast. Oh, got a kill cam on it instead. I was about to do it. I'm trying to show off the paralysis effect. The paralysis effect on this isn't just your regular vanilla paralysis effect. It does also have a little bit of knockback to it too. So you get the paralysis and the ragdoll with that, along with the knockback effect. So you actually do send enemies flying with this weapon, and it's really cool. One of my favorite overhauls of Zims there. Yes, I was going to talk about that, Bofax. Yeah, so Volendrung, I actually listened to one of Imperial Knowledge's videos on it. And I don't remember the Dwemer chieftain's name. Oh, crap. We're screwed. We got... crap. I don't remember how long it's been since I saved. But we're in a broken state now. I'm going to freeze up now trying to save. Crap. Yeah, no, it won't. This has happened to me a few times too. It's never consistent. But yeah, I remember this happening on your stream. I've been running this load order for years. This happens. Yeah, this happens from time to time. I don't think it indicates that there's anything wrong. I think it's just maybe Dindalod trying to do too much. Man, now I don't remember how long it's been since I saved. Not a hardware issue either. Yeah, it's just one of those things you got to deal with when you play modded Skyrim. Check your save. I'm not going to do... Yeah, well, we can check later on it. But... yeah, I can't do a debugging stream. I'll check on it later, though. Let's see here. Absorb 50 stamina. That's it for the vanilla one? You mean farm tools, Bo? A mod which remodels the orcish swords, making them look decent. Yeah. So that's kind of... I've been on the fence about it. I know... Oh, geez. I'm trying to remember. Is it Zero Frost? He's got some good, like, dwarven replacers for the armor and stuff like that, but... and I know that there's some elven replacers, even like the Amidian dark armor replacer, the texture for the elven stuff makes it look better. But... Alright, where are we at here? Oh, we do have a quick save. That's good. Okay. I don't think we have to redo the whole Boethia chaos. Crazy Lion has some replacers. Oh yeah, that's the one I think that you posted in Magus's Discord for the Dwarven replacer. Yeah, that one looks good, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me to have a cool looking armor of things that I'm used to looking goofy, right? If you played Skyrim for as long as you know many of us have, it's like you expect certain Skyrim-y things to be a certain way. And I don't know. I feel like if I weren't offended by the Elven, Dwarven, and Orcish armor, that I would probably be a little disappointed. I kind of want it to look dopey. It's iconic to me for some reason. I don't know. I may change my mind. Oh, that was Fourth Unknown. Yeah, I said Zero Period or Zero Frost or something. Yeah, Fourth Unknown. That's the one. That's the one. It's a standalone. Cool. It's a standalone with an optional replacer, I think. Yeah, but I was talking about, yeah, Haster's got it. I was listening to the Imperial Knowledge video on it, and I don't remember the Dwemer chieftain's name, but there was a Dwemer chieftain who did not like the Dwemer teaming up with the Chimer to take on the Nords, so he decided to self-exile, him and his clan. And so he tossed Volendrung. Volendrung was his artifact. It wasn't Malakath's at that point. It was a Dwemer artifact, and it was his sort of weapon of choice. It was his thing. So he tossed Volendrung in the air, and wherever it landed was where he would settle. And that landed in the place now known as Hammerfell, and that's how Hammerfell got its name. So this kind of, brings together the Daedra, the Orcs, the Redguards, and the Dwarves all in one weird little oh shit, we got it again. What the hell is going on here? I'm just gonna have to fast travel, I think. I guess now I can check Fallrim tools, huh? Do I not have Fallrim hooked up? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, well, we'll try a fast travel. Yeah, I think I just have it in the install directory. That sounds familiar. I've rarely had to run it. I think there was one playthrough I had to run it for. Clan Rorken, that sounds correct. Hey, there's the panicked monk. Hey, Spanky. Who you calling Spank? Well, that's not inaccurate. It was known as Volenfell at the time. So yeah, then I guess nobody really knows how Malakath obtained and claimed Volendrung as his own. I mean, I think the real answer is that, Bethesda just did like a silent retcon. They just changed it at some point because they needed a Dwemer artifact and that one was already there. So they're like, you know what, let's just use this instead. And they just didn't bother to, retrofit it into the existing lore. So they just went forward with it without saying anything about it. But that's not to say that they can't make like a good story out of it, Okay, let's see. Let's try fast traveling here. Malakath probably got it in a bet. Yeah, he bet the Dwemer chieftain that had it that he couldn't get Boethia to eat him and shit him out. I guess he would have made that bet while he was Trinimac, though. So one thing I've never fully followed very well is whether or not the Redguard are descendants of Clan Rorken and thus the Dwemer. No, I think the Redguards came and settled far later. I think this was all way pre-Redguard. This is Redguard came, I think, well after the Dwemer disappeared. At least that was my impression. I could be completely wrong. Oh, we got the old orc. He's looking for a good death. I think we can give him a good death. I'm gonna give myself a quick save here just in case I'm mistaken, because this guy's usually pretty tough.
I am waiting for a good death.
I was thinking.
A good death?
Yes. Were I to simply lay down and die, it would not please Malakath.
They're from another Kalpa? Perhaps I could give you the death you seek?
Perhaps. Are you sure about this?
Oh, I'm sure.
We shall see.
Oh my god, I hit the wrong button. Tried to have Volendrung. Looks like he tried to heal himself right as he died. It would be an arena, the first game. Red guards are actually from another Kalpa. Yeah, I think red guards came from a completely different continent. Well, I guess like most of the races. Are there any races that are actually indigenous to Tamriel? Because I think the elves came up through Somerset. Imperials are descended from Nords, who came from Atmora, right? That's off continent. Argonians, maybe. Argonians, yeah. I think Argonians are the only indigenous species, right? The Needs are a human species indigenous to Cyrodiil. So there are two separate human species that evolved separately? I always thought the Nords were the first. So the Imperials and Nords are completely separate races that like evolved completely separately from each other. And then Bretons are like halflings between humans and elves, right? Argonians were there before everyone, according to what they say about the Hist and the trees in Blackmarsh. 3, technically. The Skull are also of Northern heritage, but changed through the centuries. Crazy. Orcs are elves as well. Yeah, so, well, depending on, like, which sources you believe about it, right? The orcs used to be the Orsimer. And they were more elf-like, right? But they, I think one way or another. There are also mentions of orcs in, I think, like Topal the Pirate, or the Pilot, where he mentioned orcs like far before the whole Trinimac and Boethia thing was supposed to have happened. So there is some evidence saying that, you know, maybe orcs have been their own thing for a while, but I think at that point, orcs meant something else. They were like, orcs weren't like people, they were more like creatures, like goblins. They were white souls, not black souls. Topal actually meant goblins, not orcs, but he did write orcs. There are explicit mentions of orcs, not goblins in there. So if he meant goblins and said orcs, then yeah, we could say that. I actually had a roleplay series, or not series, but just I did a roleplay for myself. I think it was one of the Skyrim Unbound things that Joe, the Panic Monk, and Couch Warrior put together. About, you know, finding that book and trying to lead his orcish people away from this self-inflicted pariahism.
I've been looking for you.
And away from Malakath. Because he thought that they were meant for more. There was more to them than just being brutish pariahs.
Something about it being your inheritance.
Because orcs maybe were something else, and maybe they were still Orsimer.
Looks like that's it. Gotta go.
Dunmer or Keimer got the golden skin before being cursed by Azora. Yep. And Keimer were very closely related to the Aliad, I believe. So I feel like they are all branches of the same, like, they're all subspecies of the same, like, regular high elf race, right? All the other races of elves came from the Altmer. Or at least whatever parent race. The Altmer came from. Like maybe the Elnafey or something like that. That might be something completely different. Aldmer? Yeah, that sounds right. Hold on, what did we do? I think we missed our turn is what we did. We're gonna have to try to cross over here somewhere. All right, let's cross this bridge first. Oh, yeah, you and Couch Warrior set up the Skyrim Unbound challenges for folks in the community. I think we had a good 4 seasons of that, maybe? I don't know. 4 seems right. It was 3 or 4. And I think the first one I had was an orc who was challenging the accepted role of brutish pariahs. He wanted something more. He kind of felt like orcs were actually Orsimer, and that the whole pariah thing was talking about something else, and that Malakath was subjugating them on false pretenses. So his whole role was to try to pry the orcish strongholds away from the influences of Malakath, and that was a really fun roleplay. All right, here we go. Let's fight some giants here. Let's see if we can get some paralysis going off of this. Start them off with a sprinting power attack. Oh, he didn't like that, huh? Yikes. Okay, I just paralyzed Gore. Gore, why did you run in front of me like that? Doofus? There we go. Yeah. That is the power of Volendrung. Come and get it, giant. You giant pain in my ass. There we go. Send him flying. Okay. So that went pretty darn well. By the way, I am running on legendary difficulty, just so nobody accuses me of, like, you know, playing on novice or something like that. So the warrior, this warrior build is coming along really well. I probably could have started off with a bow shot to reduce their armor a little bit. That would have made for a quicker ending, quicker fight. But yeah, Fortius is pretty powerful already, and we still have, you know, 3 or 4 more phases left to go. Wish that had lasted. Yeah, Bayo kind of swooped in. I mean, I don't... I have no room to talk, right? Because I have, you know, a career and everything, a day job where I have to show up every day for 40 plus, usually plus hours. So I understand getting burnt out on content creation and everything like that. But yeah, Bayo did pick that back up with his character concept challenges that were more community oriented, and then, you know, Bayo got burnt out too. It's a lot. If I were to focus on content creation, it would be at least as much time that I pour into my day job, right? It's a lot, and if your heart just isn't into it anymore, then you're gonna hate your life. But yeah, those were fun. It was really fun seeing everybody's challenges and then their concepts, and then like getting together, you know, every few months and being able to talk about them in a live stream or whatever. Yeah, those were good times. Good times. All right, where the hell am I going? I got the giant. I can go pick up the bounty. Now I got to go to Kronvanger. Sorry, Magus. I'm gonna have to kill some vampires, I think. Spideys and vampires. 2 different kinds of bloodsuckers. Considering starting to stream on Twitch, any tips? At first, the best tip, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just go live, play your game, be yourself, and you refine from there. But if you're trying to like get it perfect the first time, you're never even gonna start. So just go live, play your game, talk to people, be yourself, but then go back and watch the archive of that stream and try to pick out things you could have done better, try to pick out things that went well and that you want to keep doing, and expand from there. And it's the same. It's the same for YouTube if you're doing recorded content too. Just put something up there. Start. You're gonna learn through doing much more than you're gonna learn through studying. I think is the biggest lesson I can give you. But always try to improve. Always try to make things better. Otherwise, you're just gonna stay stagnant and do the same thing, and you're not gonna see the results that you want. There you go. Easy peasy. Yeah, no, that's the other thing. Even if you're streaming to nobody, if you're streaming to 0 people, act like you're streaming to 100 people. It doesn't matter. Be the same way. Because if somebody tunes into your stream and you're just kind of like silently moping because there's nobody there, then people are going to tune out like immediately. They're just going to close down your stream. So
Let's go, friend.
act like you are streaming to 1,000 people, even if that number says 0. Better yet, turn off if you can cover it up or turn it off or just not look at it, don't even look at viewer count. You need to already be engaging for somebody to want to stay, right? It's easy to get somebody to look at your stream, at least a couple people, but if you're just kind of like silently not doing anything, then there's going to be no reason to stay. You do that without streaming. There you go. Yep. Yep, absolutely. So I think among people who have done this content creation thing, I think we all have a very strong concurrency here on the advice. It's all pretty much the same. So heat it. It's fun. I mean, if you set yourself certain goals and you don't hit those goals, then yeah, that can be a bummer and that can be unfun. But if you just set out to have fun and entertain yourself, do the stream that you want to see and figure out what that looks like to you and how to get there, then yeah, you'll have a lot of fun. And then you'll want to do it regardless of the numbers. But I'll also say it's not for everybody, right? Being the center of attention is not always easy. It's not always preferable for a lot of people. That's something that I've had to kind of come to terms with a little bit. I don't like being the center of attention. But I've learned to kind of embrace it for streaming and find my fun with it for sure. And now it's something I look forward to every single week. I do it because it's fun. It's fun to come in here and reconnect with all you guys and show off the progress of my characters and tell you guys like what I've been working on and what I've been thinking about how to progress certain ways and things like that. Yeah, good moderators will help. That's kind of more of like a step 2 or 3 because it's going to take some time. But if you already know somebody who you trust and who wants to help out, then yeah, make them a moderator. It lets you focus on your content instead of the babysitting aspects of things, which is a sad part of reality for anywhere on the internet. Actually, they're going to be troublemakers. Oh. Ran out of range. Okay, so Volendrung is very powerful, right? Even without the paralysis effect. We are kicking ass and taking names here. Grab some moonstone just in case we need it for anything. I do have some really nice modded sets of heavy armor that I want to try out once I get through the racial progression on the gear here. But we're not there yet. But I do want to gather the materials for it if and when we do get there. Not sure if I actually have the one-handed enchantment yet. I think I probably do. Check that out. I wonder how Queen Freydis's sword ended up in an egg sack in this huge twisting spider den, and how what's his name, the smith in Windhelm, figured out that this is where it was. And who the hell was Queen Freydis anyway? I don't remember her name from lore anywhere except for this quest. And for whatever reason, she had a sword, and for whatever reason, it's just the regular old steel sword. Had to pass out invitations with my 6-year-old, so what I missed? Well, you missed a couple of freezes. I think we got past the trouble area now, so I had to deal with that a little bit.
Not all creatures are gentle like mud crabs. I mean, look at us.
We are badass.
Let's just make sure to eat them after. Would only be right if we did.
What, the mud crabs? Yeah, so we made our way down to the giant encampment. I don't remember what that was called. Like, oh geez, I don't know. But we killed the giants already, and they were actually not even a problem. We took care of them. We took care of business easily. Giants, 2 of them at once. No problem. No problem for Fortius, the warrior extraordinaire. So now here we are in Kronvanger. We've dispatched of all the spiders here. Now we're getting ready to take on the vampires. Let's make sure that we have some cure disease potions. Oh, it actually doesn't matter. All I have to do is pray to Arcane and we'll be cured. Okay. Do we have anything that we can take? I feel like we have resist magic. That will help. Actually, for this one, I am going Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker is another Dwemer artifact that was claimed by the Daedric Prince Periite. And nobody really knows how or why Periite claimed that as their own. Really? What level am I? Level 38, so not super low. And level 38 with Ordinator is pretty strong.
Now your blood is mine.
Getting in there. All right. Who's next? Who wants some?
Oh no, you don't.
Yeah. Orcish phase, baby. Anybody else? That's right. Don't mess with a human warrior that's channeling an orcish persona. Hell yeah. This is fun. I'm having a blast. Need to build up numbers before you can get moderators. All you need is just somebody on Discord or something that, you know, has the time. I'm a terrible moderator. I think I'm a moderator on a couple different channels, but since I have such a demanding day job, I can rarely show up. But yeah, I'm there to help if needed. But not all the time. So yeah, I would not be a good candidate, is what I'm trying to say. But if you hang out with somebody on Discord, you got a couple friends or whatever, and they have your schedule or whatever, yeah, just ask them. But yeah, that's like I said, that's still just a step 2, step 3 thing. It does help, for sure. First step is just to go live, play your game, do your thing, see if you like it, first of all. Because if it just turns out you hate it, it's too nerve-wracking for you, or you're too self-conscious or something, then yeah, don't bother lining up the the moderators first. And it's also a lot easier to moderate 2 or 3 viewers than it is to moderate, you know, 100 or even a couple dozen. Also, depending on your setup, if you have only like one screen that you can use, it's harder to moderate things on like your phone if that's the only second screen that you have. I do have 2 screens. I could just pop over to the other one. BGS took one of their buggiest caves in their game and added CC stuff. Makes sense. Oh, let me catch up on chat. There was some stuff here. Spellbreaker. Oh, there's a pet here. Yeah, I actually removed the pets because they didn't work with my disable collision, follower collision mod. So they were just standing in doorways and I couldn't get around them, and that drives me up the wall like none other. So I removed them. I have them all set up so that I can manage all of the CC stuff in Mod Organizer too. Shiny, welcome, buddy. Welcome, welcome. You like the Steger video? The Steger video has been going crazy, man. #1 video in terms of views in its time period so far. So, thank you all for whoever watched it. Yeah, it was a long time in the making. I was surprised to see that this was my first Skyrim build guide of the year, and it's, you know, the year's already half over. I think the Starfield Cyberneticist build went out earlier in the year. I'm not completely certain about that, but build guides do take a long time. But they really shouldn't take however many months that it took me between that one and the Scorpion one. But the Steger guide took an extra long time because I had to start over. There was a refresh of that build. There were some different skills I wanted to get going. And that was actually partially due to some suggestions made by the audience. So if you guys think I'm not like listening to you, you're wrong. I definitely am listening to you and taking into consideration all of your suggestions. And we got some weird cape stuff going on here. There we go. You weigh negative 97 pounds. Have you been running that much? Not a very reliable moderator either. Sheepishly looks at the wrench icon. Basically, Garn, please don't ask me. I killed giants at 25. Yeah, I mean, 25 sounds about right. And I do have a follower, which, you know, helps. On legendary difficulty, followers are very, very strong because they have all the same buffs that your enemies do in terms of damage output and all that. So followers do help a lot. This would have been a little bit harder if I were facing 2 giants on my own, but I feel like I still could have done it without too much issue. The main reason why I want to kind of... Oh, we got a giant, or not a giant, a dragon flying around here somewhere. We have not fought a dragon yet. There he is. That's the Dragon of Bone-Strewn Crest, which is actually a storied orcish stronghold where the orcs and the Nords fought over this territory a lot. Now it's, you know, a little more than a ruined dragon perch. But back in the day, is this the Mana Marco shrine? Get Spellbreaker up. Stat. Oh, guys, we are vicious. 40th, man. I'm getting my blood pumping a little bit. Kind of feel like I want to go box somebody up. Stamina regen power, that's good. That's the vanilla one, right? If you use Imperious, though, it changes to the slow-mo thing, which is cool. I still don't know how useful it is, though. I wanna come up with a red guard build that makes use of that red sand dance. But yeah, stamina regen's great. Have most of my CC stuff disabled. All I really use is the armors, crossbows, and the stave variety. That's mostly what I do too. There are some of the quests in there that I still use, though. A couple of the quests are really well done, I think, and kind of flesh out the lore, especially between Oblivion and Skyrim a little bit more, and add some pretty cool equipment as well. So like the Tribunal one, and then the other one with the Oblivion gates. I don't remember what they're called because I have not gone through them all that much. The Cause, I think, is what I'm thinking of. The Cause. Sword and Borden, absolutely. Well, with the Sword and Board, this is more for spellcasters because of Spellbreaker here. That gives us all of our magic defense since we don't have any resistances. And then we have the Orcish Saber. But really, I'm trying to use Volendrung more than anything because this thing is badass. Just limited opportunities so far with the mage type enemies we've been facing. So right now I'm just getting some map markers and then we'll head back and then go get Goldbrand, I think. Now a lot of the CC stuff is unleveled, meaning you can go in there very underleveled. It's not level scaled like the rest of the game. So Skyrim, out of the box, is it's very level scaled, meaning that pretty much all the enemies in the game are going to be at or near your level. Maybe a little over, maybe a little under, but there's not really going to be any enemy that is going to be completely out of your reach as far as level. A lot of modded content and the CC stuff, they introduce unleveled enemies. So you got to be very careful, especially if you're doing like a permadeath run or something. If you're going to go do some of the CC stuff, be ready for a challenge. Death by Volendrung to the butt. I can think of worse ways to go, but none so undignified. That's a quote from X-Files. Big fan. It was one of the later episodes in one of the later seasons. What's the guy's name who was the Raymond's dad from Everybody Loves Raymond, and he played Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein, like Peter Boyle or something like that? He was in an episode of X-Files, and his sort of like paranormal ability was that he could see how anybody would die. And so Fox Mulder, David Duchovny, was like, oh yes. He didn't want to know. He was like debating the whole movie whether or not he wanted to know how he was going to die. And then Peter Boyle was like, just said out of the blue, I can think of worse ways to go than autoerotic asphyxiation, but none so undignified. And then Mulder was like, wait, why did you say that? Why did you say that? And he's all like trying to get him to explain more. And he just wouldn't expound on it. So I think we know that Fox Mulder dies by autoerotic asphyxiation. And that's canon, folks. And that's why I love X-Files. They don't take themselves too seriously. They know they're hokey, they know they're goofy, and they lean into that shit. But they're also really cool. There's some really cool episodes. They hold up fairly well. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of a graybeard here, right? So I'm going to be a little more lenient on older media. But I feel like the X-Files holds up pretty well today. Big Autistic Daddy, welcome in. I saw your name pop up a couple times, but the chat was scrolling too much. I didn't catch it. Welcome in. Remember when I thought Oblivion looked so realistic? Yeah, you go back to Oblivion now. That is a tough transition, I'll tell you that. And there's Tom Mole. He slipped in too. Welcome, Tom. Hope you're doing well. Hammered in the arse. Yes, indeed. Biggest issue with the CC is how easy stuff is, but that's just a matter of installing something to manually delay things. Yeah, I mean, it gives you a lot of stuff up front. Some of the quest stuff with some of the boss fights that like just like with a lot of the alternate armors and stuff, if you try to take those people on at level 1, you might have a challenge. But for the most part, the alternate armors ones are pretty easy. Some of the Daedric quest stuff is pretty tough. I'm trying to think of the examples. I'll think of them. We got another giant over here. Let's prove our strength. Yeah, send the giant flying. That's how a human orc does it. Never had a chance. Although he was kind of just going on a nature hike.
What do you need?
You know, we just slammed him out of nowhere, but still. It's a giant. Don't know why I need that saw. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Let's do this. We will. I've also disabled I need, so I'm not like tethered to any kind of eating and sleeping schedule anymore. We can just focus on progression, and just talking about roleplay and equipment and things like that. So let's head back to Windhelm here. We'll turn in a couple of these quests, and then we'll go get Goldbrand. Shall we? Oblivion is still awesome, still best music for an ES game. Yeah, I agree. Oblivion is still awesome. It is a rough transition, graphics and gameplay wise. I did try to go back to it a few years ago, and I was still having fun with it. But just regular old like quality of life things, like with a bow. If you start drawing your arrow in Skyrim, you can just sheath it to cancel that. In Oblivion, you have to fire that arrow. Just little things like that. And just how like not sticky you are, like the gravity is a little funny in Oblivion. Like if you run too fast on a downgrade, you're gonna end up just running horizontally for a while, and then you're gonna fall down and like hurt yourself because of the acrobatic skill. If it's not high enough, you're gonna take a lot of fall damage from just a little tiny trip. Yeah, and there's like no feedback on any of the melee attacks or anything like that. It shows its age, but that's not to say it's bad, right? I still think it's much more playable than Morrowind is. I'm gonna piss off a bunch of Morrowind people because those guys are the ones who complain about the new games the most. This is the Morrowind OGs. And anybody who's never played Morrowind tries to go back to it, it's rough. It's hard.
Look at that edge. Still sharp.
Started on Morrowind and found Oblivion to be better to play too. Yeah, that's where a lot of people say that Oblivion started like the dumbing down of the Elder Scrolls. They streamlined a lot of skills and made it more action oriented than traditional roleplay stuff, which a lot of people really didn't like. And you can still hear all about it all the time if you get into the right message boards or talk to just the wrong person about Oblivion and Skyrim. You'll hear all about all their complaints about it. I started with Oblivion. I tried to go back to Morrowind and I was like, no. But I still see like screenshots of like a more modern modded Morrowind, and that game can look absolutely beautiful still. Still plays like trash, but if you have mortal enemies installed, you can actually dodge attacks by dodging sideways, by doing a sideways power attack. Yes, I do, because mortal enemies does have the attack, what do they call it? It's like a dedicated attack vectors where you can't change your course. Like with vanilla, it does it for the player character too. So if you're doing a forwards power attack in vanilla, you can actually adjust your path halfway through. In mortal enemies, you can't. You're dedicated, you're committed to that attack vector, that direction you're going the whole time. So yeah, you can, but the sideways power attack, you have to basically get lucky. There's no way to react to an attack with a sideways power attack. Just because you got to get these slow attacks lining up just right.
If we could take the city without blood.
I mean, maybe you could do it if you're a lot better than me, but
a great service by catching that killer. Well done.
Still need convincing.
my reactions are pretty good, and I haven't been able to get that working. I do have a dodge mod for that stuff though, but let's see. The giant at Broken Limb Camp is dead. I'm here for the bounty.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward.
No way, Morrowind was awesome. I'm not saying it wasn't awesome. I'm not blaming you for liking the game. Just going from Oblivion and Skyrim back to Morrowind, it's a shock. It's a gameplay shock for sure.
Dangerous out there.
I can't speak negatively at all about the lore, you know, the story, the world building, any of that. In fact, I would probably concede that they did that better back in Morrowind and Oblivion than Skyrim and Fallout 4 and Starfield for sure. Morrowind is harsh at first, but I just thought of it as D&D and made its way. Yeah, so if you're expecting an action-oriented RPG, like a more modern action Western RPG like Oblivion or Skyrim, or things like, well, The Witcher 1 was not a good example, but like The Witcher 2 or 3, or even the more modern Assassin's Creed, things like that. And then you go and play Morrowind because it's a 3D quote-unquote action RPG game, you're gonna be in for a shock. But if you're going in expecting something like a CRPG, like Baldur's Gate, or I don't know, like Dragon Age or something like that, then you're probably gonna be very happy with it. I have just me personally, I'm more of an action gamer. I grew up in the arcades and stuff. So I prefer Oblivion and Skyrim over the older school style of things, but I just have little patience for the point and click and dialogue stuff. I can do it, I have to be in the right mood for it. I can play Skyrim, Fallout 4, and Starfield all day because the action feels good and the buildcraft is good. Let's see. Oblivion was what, 2006-ish? I thought it was even earlier than that. Started in Arena, played Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, but skipped Redguard. Yeah, I started with Oblivion, and then Fallout 3, and then Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim, Fallout 4, and now Starfield. And I've liked them all. I've liked them all a lot. Skyrim's been the one to stick. I have, there are different things I like about different games. Skyrim's far and above my favorite out of all of them. Even though I feel like there are some things that other games do better than it in those groups of games. I feel like the story writing in Oblivion and Fallout 3 were much better than they are in Skyrim. Crafting system, Fallout 4 did a lot better than any of them, including Skyrim. Yeah, I don't know what else. Character building, I think, is the best in Skyrim, and that's why. And I think it's mostly because of mods, but also because of the different races and the different unique artifacts with actual, like, stable, unique effects on them. Goes a long way toward doing character building, and that's kind of where I've found my happy spot with Skyrim is doing these different character concepts, and that's far and away better in Skyrim than it is any of their other more contemporary games. I've not played Daggerfall. Daggerfall came after Arena. And welcome Keith Sermon. Glad to see you in here. Glad to see you back. An orc in the Stormcloaks? We found Skyrim Uncle Rutkus. Didn't actually like Oblivion, but I loved Morrowind. Okay. Everybody has their different tastes and what they like about games, and that's okay. That makes the world a richer place. Morrowind had the best story to date, followed straight by Knights of the Nine, which was an Oblivion expansion. I don't know that I ever played all the way through Knights of the Nine. I did Shivering Isles. I'm not sure about Knights of the Nine. Probably ought to go back and replay that at some point, or at least watch a YouTube video or two on it. Okay, how are we getting to where we're going? Okay, we're gonna have to go. We don't really want to swim through the icy waters here, so let's go all the way around here. We can maybe find, what's his name? The elf from Interesting NPCs. Let's go ahead and get that off of the journal on the way, and then we'll pass by Stillborn Cave. Actually, probably cut our way through Stillborn too if we had to, or if we want to, and then Sivdur's Respite, and then we'll have Eastmarch here pretty much licked, like Stenvar licked that Sassalum pillar of evocation. Rumarin is the guy, Joe. Thank you. Hey, there's James. Welcome, James. Hope you're having a good weekend, buddy. Attack commitment, yes. Speaking of the older Witchers, I would love to play 1 and 2, but man, they're so janky and ancient. Super excited for the Witcher 1 remake. Yeah, that would be cool. Being able to... Because that Witcher 1, it told a pretty good story, and it was kind of like Dragon... Oh, crap. Did we get this? No, we're good. Okay, I thought I saw some floating cobblestones there. I thought we got the LOD shit again. We're good. Do a quick save here just to see. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, they were like the Dragon Age or the old BioWare games, Mass Effect and stuff, where like it would read your save file from the previous game and pre-populate the world with the choices that you made in the previous one. Very cool stuff. In fact, I think that Witcher 1 was actually made off of the BioWare Dragon Age engine. So yeah, the gameplay for an action RPG was not great. Speaking of Dragon Age, I'm actually kind of stoked for Veilguard. I think it looks pretty good. That's another one of those games where the old guard are shitting all over the game, but for someone who doesn't have any personal stake in those games, it's like I don't tie parts of my personality to those older games. It looks really good. It looks like a lot of fun. The scene that they showed was like an intro scene, I think, so it didn't really get into the whole like RPG mechanics of everything, but I'm pretty sure from like the interviews and stuff that I've seen that the actual roleplay mechanics and the progression systems and everything are going to be, there's going to be a lot of room for character builds in that game. And I'm actually kind of excited for it. I've never played a Dragon Age game before. Kind of want to go back and play some of the older ones before that comes out. Oh, Joe needs to refresh the mule. Somebody's having a good weekend already. Also, don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah, that helps, guys. Like and subscribe. It's easy. It's free. It's just clicking some buttons. I'm never gonna ask you for money. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just, you know, trying to get people together, like-minded individuals who love Skyrim and other similar games, and we're just hanging out for a few hours on a Saturday. And you know what? You got some build guides there if you like that kind of thing, and some other smaller like mod guides and some think pieces and things like that. I think it's a pretty good channel. I don't know. Sounds like a pretty good value proposition to me. You get all that for a couple of free clicks. Why not? let's see here. If you just click it, yeah, that works for me. You can click it. An immersion mod should make it so that if you're playing one of the lost races such as Falmer, Dwemer, or Seishi, or the Aliens, all NPCs comment or ask how you're still alive. That is more possible now with the AI reconstruction of these voices. I would still argue that the ethics behind using those tools is dubious at best. So I would keep that in mind and at least consider it before you do anything like that. But yeah, that would be a lot of work to refresh all those lines.
Is this what you want?
So yeah, I do have a couple perks invested into the bashing, the block bashing. I think we do more damage per point of stamina that we have currently. And now our bashes are legitimate offensive weapons.
Wow, that was
Usually
a
they're
frightening experience.
okay for any melee class. The block bash, if you're not, you know, like a dual wielding, like berserker type build, the block bash is your most important tool, regardless of if you're just doing a sword and board, just a sword and an empty offhand.
Well, if I was
or a two-handed weapon, your block bash is still your most important tool. It typically doesn't do a lot of damage, it doesn't have a lot of range, but it is the fastest attack that you have available to you, regardless of what you're wielding, and it causes a stagger very, very consistently. So you can use it for stun locks and things like that. With Ordinator, you can turn that block bash into just, you know, a potent offensive tool too if you have big stamina pools, which you should. If you're doing a melee warrior, you should have a lot of stamina because you're going to be wanting to use that bash a lot. And with Wildcat, you actually do get your stamina drained when you block an attack, so you want to keep that stamina up. So you need big pools of stamina. But yeah, I want to do a video. I want to do a melee video guide soon. I think that'll be my next video. Recorded video anyway.
Yes, it's almost rather adorable the way they think they can still spend it. And even if they could, what would they
Anywho, I
spend
gotta
it
go.
on?
By that I mean go back and play Baldur's Gate 3.
Although
Okay,
I
Shiny,
imagine the only
take it
thing
easy, buddy.
is
I actually did get Baldur's Gate 3 on sale at the summer sale. I'm looking forward to getting into it at some point.
The name's Ramari.
It's a more
Professional
pointy clicky
adventurer,
type thing instead of an
labor
action type
and
thing,
great
but I don't know. Kind of been in the mood for something like that lately. And apparently Baldur's Gate 3 is damn good. I bounced off the Baldur's Gate stuff in the past. That's why I kind of waited for a sale on Baldur's Gate 3. Otherwise, I would have bought it right away.
All right then.
Catch you around, Rumarin. I still got some stuff to learn from Gore here, so we'll be sticking with him. But we get that without the clicks. You do. Just less clicks. You still have to click on the videos and stuff, right? You may as well just click 2 more times. 2 more clicks is all it takes. Just 2 clicks. Skyrim and BG3 was my first of the series of both, and I'm not going backwards. Same with Elden Ring. Yeah, I mean, Elden Ring at least has the same gameplay formula throughout the. I think the Dark Souls stuff holds up better than the older BGS or Baldur's Gate stuff does. For whatever that's worth, because those were always action-oriented from the very get-go. They always had to have balanced action. So you should be good going back to those. Am I going the wrong way? I'm absolutely going the wrong way. Okay. Been delayed due see family while and see children's uncle too. And England in the finals, huh? That's awesome. Is that football? Oh, yep, that is going to be European football. American football is way different. England did have a team in the World Baseball Classic this year, actually, or last year, I guess. It was a very, very low budget team, but you know, they made a scrappy appearance. They didn't embarrass themselves, that was for sure. Defeat the Seducer's Bandit leader. Okay, let's do this. I don't know if I'm really willing at this point to take on this quest line. But I do want to kill some stuff. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The Saints and Seducers here, this is all unleveled stuff, and these guys are tough. Did I just kill Gore? No, I didn't. Okay. European Championship Finals. Nice. Always fun to have a team in the championships, that's for sure. A few years back, we had our Phoenix Suns, the NBA team, in the NBA Finals. And we lost, which was disappointing, but it was a lot of fun getting to that point, for sure. And I, you know, even though we lost, I still wouldn't have traded that in for anything. And just last year, our Arizona Diamondbacks went to the World Series and gave the Texas Rangers everything they could handle. And we ended up losing that one too. But yeah, that's another experience I never would have traded in for anything else. Even though knowing that we lost and everything is still a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Even like people who are not normally sports fans, it's like there's just a different vibe in the city. People who aren't normally sports fans will like all of a sudden be willing to have a conversation about basketball or baseball with you. And there's just a kind of overlying excitement in the air when somebody's team is in the finals. It's good stuff. Okay, refreshed, and no, it's only number 2, so I am pretty unintoxicated. Pretty unintoxicated. Could be worse. But it's nice to sit and chill for a bit. We're in the middle of a complete kitchen remodel, new plumbing and electrical. Okay, yeah, you've been really working hard on that house. It's gonna be beautiful by the time you're done with it. But I guess the dirty little secret of home ownership is that you're never really done renovating your house. You might be done for a while. But it's a never-ending blessing and a curse until the day you sell it. Or until the day you don't need it anymore. Oh my god. Okay, here's that arcade saving roll. Yep, so as tough as we are against physical damage, magical damage is still a problem for us. Okay, we need Spellbreaker. Let's keep our shield pointed at the problem. Gore, if you can get in there, I would be very appreciative. That guy's wielding Eldritch magic. That looks like a Eldritch Blast, maybe? Can't catch up to him. He's too fast because he has no armor. Oh, it pisses me off, these stupid mages. Get here and die. Thank you. I am actually channeling orcs in real life now. Gore, you okay? No, he is not okay. God damn it. I don't know whose Atronach this is, but I hope you die soon. All of the healing potions, huh? Oh my god. Draft of health. So you're seeing in some of that Karn rage right now. Are you guys scared? I hope I didn't scare anybody off. We're in our orc phase. Resist magic, yes please. 19% of magic, that's pretty good. Gonna need that. Okay. my god, this is a lot of damage over time, and she's so fast. Oh, you were saved by the fall. I am going to kill you. I have a murder boner. Ooh, I'm so mad. Orcish blood rage indeed, and I think I'm out of health potions. Damn it. How long is this gonna last, I wonder? How long? 8 more seconds? Witch bolt. It's stacked. That's why it's taken so much. These are stacking. Great idea, Anai, given the NPC's stabs of triumvirate spells. Great idea. I'm just gonna blame anybody else that I can other than me for this. I don't think they're supposed to stack like that. I didn't know they did. In that case, Witch Bolt's pretty overpowered. No basic healing? No, I'm not using spells at all for this one. This is a pure warrior. No healing spells, unless I have to get through like a quest or something like that. Let there be carnage. Let's hope his D10s don't roll. I'll be much happier when I'm not camping. Yeah, for sure. Not so happy camper this time. Yeah, I got a ton of health potions. I went through probably most of them, at least half of them. We got there eventually. Let's switch to Vigorous for the hotkeys here. I think 2 is what I was using for the hotkey there. Potion of Vigorous Healing. There we go. Okay. Now I have a murder boner for mages. Go ahead and loot them. Just make sure we get everything valuable off of their persons. Where was the other guy? He was up here somewhere, wasn't he? Oh no, I had to chase him all the way out here. Yeah, when the mages can backpedal faster than you can run forward. Ooh, that is rage-inducing. Don't even need the Orcish blood rage power for that one. It just happens inherently. You probably get a lot more of those triggers than once per day as well. No sneak or lockpicking? No, just no spell casting. No inherent spell casting. Lockpicking will do. Sneaking, we're not really sneaking either, unless it's required by a quest. Some missions are purely sneaking missions, especially for like I think the Imperial side of the Civil War. There are a couple of quests where you have to sneak. I am doing enchanting, but I'm not perking into it. So that is like very balanced. In terms of gameplay, in terms of combat, we're a pure warrior. We'll use our magical artifacts here. We'll use enchanted items, but we're not going to cast spells. Powers are fine. Shouts are fine. We just haven't gotten there yet. Oh wow, he's got the Dwemer explosive one. He was in a lot of pain. Oh, Gore, you picked up the... Yes. Okay, give them a taste of their own medicine with that damn witch bolt. Hell yeah. He's got a spirit bound too. Look at that. Means he can conjure up an improved Leviathan or Temple Grim if he wants to. Oh, well, that was fun. Bolides is the one. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the Dwemer explosive one that I was thinking. I'm not sure if that's added to the level list. I am running Tonal Architects, which it seems like it should have been included in Triumvirate. Because it's the same kind of thing. It gives you a few spells and gives you a bunch of staves and stuff that you can craft up. And I think one of them is kind of like an explosive one. I might be thinking of something else. I think I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, there's another Dwemer stave that acts like a rocket launcher. Belisarius used it for one of his builds. And I thought that's what he was wielding, but turns out I don't even have that in my game. So let that be a lesson to everybody. Your memory is unreliable. Never trust it. Dwemertech? That sounds like it might be right. Dwemertech is the one with the exoskeleton, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Is that the one that See You Later was working on the port for? Or is that just a completely separate mod? And the journey to the moon. Mages in Skyrim are annoying because they sometimes have infinite magic. Yeah, they can, for sure. I don't think mine... I don't know that I've ever encountered one like that. Staves, for sure. They'll run out. But there are enchantments and stuff in Summer Mist that they do... stifle the regeneration of magicka and stamina, and those are very potent enchantments. Very powerful with Wildcat. But yeah, maybe it's a vanilla bug or something where they just never spend magicka. Or one of the moons, rather, yeah. Nirn has two. Yeah, Karn, I think this is the last of the big ticket items for a while. I'm just so glad we hired licensed plumber and electricians. The electrical work was around 34 man hours. A lot of work. Wow, yeah. And that's something you want to get right. You don't want your house to just burn down because of faulty wiring out of nowhere. That would not be good. Yes, I would consider that pedantic, but not posh. Pedantic means you're being a stickler about your vocabulary and what the specific usage of certain words, right? Posh means like upscale and fancy. Let's see. Okay, Stillborn Cave, then we'll head west, I believe. Eldritch Blast in D&D is 1d10, just saying, wow. So it's got to be pretty strong. Those are the kind of odds you're getting. Okay. Didn't quite make it to Stillborn, but I think we don't really need it. Let's make our way down the mountain here. Keep our compass open. There should be a cave showing up. I said west, I meant east. The other west. Figured you have a lock breaking mod so you can use your Warhammer on those pesky locks. Yeah, I do, but it was eventually... That's more of an immersion thing than it really is a gameplay thing. This isn't like Fallout or Starfield where like you have to have a certain level in your locking skill in order to unlock certain locks. You can do that with the lock overhaul, and that does add bashing as well. But for me, it's like it's more of an immersion thing than a gameplay thing. Oh, I got rock joint. Great. Let's go ahead and pray. Oh man, there's 2 powers here that I haven't even been using. I could have used rallying standard for the fight with the seducers. Your memory is considered 75% reliable for purposes of criminal courts. Okay, we are not part of the Empire or the Imperial Legion yet. We do plan on doing that.
Yeah.
Fortius's father was a pretty high-ranking official in the Legion, and he's been groomed from a very small age for being sort of the ultimate Imperial warrior, right? So we will join the Legion at some point, but we're still in the midst of training with Gore. Doesn't seem to be a map marker, or at least it's not showing up on the compass. Unless it's showing up on the compass as a dragon claw. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Sivdur's Respite. And we got a snowy saber cat here. Let's go a little risky and take him on without the shield. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Ooh, he's an angry kitty. Ooh, he doesn't have much stagger either. Sorry, Gore. Whacked ya. I do want his pelt, though. May as well get some ingredients off the goat while we're here. And here we are at Sivdur's Respite. A little bit of jankiness here with the terrain. I need to get into the CK and fix this. There's another 1 or 2 CC dungeons that are like this as well. It shouldn't be much of an issue. Just add like an extra big rock or something right there. Be fine. I think the cause has a similar thing going on at Arcwind Point. Or Arcwind Summit or whatever that is. I see the warrior is in his orc phase. He is indeed. Kicking ass and taking names, but not chewing bubblegum because bubblegum is for pussies.
Someone there?
Yes.
Here we go.
Coming. Get it. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong hotkey. Orcs are not known for their abundance of brain cells. Boethia cultists, huh? Go flying! Oh, how did I miss him with that one? All right, Gore, I'll just let you take these. I'll let you take care of the goons and minions, and I'll take care of the big boss. All right? How about that? I don't know how that sideways power attack just completely missed. Completely whiffed it. Maybe I was too far away. I wanted to send him sailing. And the weather today has been nutters, just flash downpours. They last like 5 minutes, then nothing for like an hour, and then bam, thunder and downpour, and then it's gone. Yeah, that same thing happened. We're completely opposite ends of the country here. You're way up north, I'm way down south. But the same thing happened to us last night. The wife and I went to bed around, I don't know, 11 or 12 p.m. Or 11 p.m. or 12 a.m., around midnight. And as we were getting settled in, there was just this huge thunder crack where it was like right above us, and it was just one of them though, just one. And then there was like a little bit of a downpour for like 5 minutes, and then it went completely quiet and it was gone. There was nothing else for the rest of the night. It was kind of terrifying. Eye Sifter, warrior and defender of dragons, lie and rest here. Defender of dragons, so he's part of the dragon cult maybe? My amulet, the symbol of my valor. Place it here so that I may have proof of my deeds in Savagery. Okay, so we need to find Sifter's amulet and something else here. Forever my nemesis, Magrathi, high priest and slayer of my brother. His skull, the symbol of his betrayal. Place it here, away from his kinsmen, so that he may never find peace. Okay, so we're looking for Magrathi's skull and Sifter's amulet. Read Aranya's research notes in the College of Winterhold Arcanium. Okay, so we haven't started the College of Winterhold yet. And I also need to do that in order to unlock the rest of the Caldor amulet quest line too. So we're gonna have to do that, but I don't want to have to go through all that. We're in the orcish phase right now. We're not in the dialogue phase, and that's all dialogue at the beginning of that mage's quest line. We don't want to do that. We want to kill stuff. Where's that cultist note I just picked up? Today's stream is brought to you by San Pellegrino Asanza. Tangerine wild strawberry. It's just flavored carbonated water. Just kidding. Not sponsored. But they are tasty. I do enjoy them. Get a big case of them from Costco. These mouth breathers don't stand a chance. Once I reclaim Goldbrand and slay them, along with our Lord's champion, Boethia will have no choice but to make me her new chosen one. I have seen it in my dreams, standing over the champion's lifeless body, clutching a gleaming golden katana, turning red with the blood of my foes. We must puzzle out that Imperial scholar's notes and breach the tomb. Then I will have my victory. Little overly ambitious there, I think. Eyes are a little bigger than her muscles at that point. Especially when faced with the mighty Volendrung. Man, the weather today, yeah. I'll have you know that orcs might be warmongers, but they're also artists. Their weapons and various trophies are beautifully crafted. Yeah, some more than others. The weapons and armor that they craft in this game, maybe not so beautiful. At least the vanilla renditions of them. But I don't think that their strength and power can be denied for sure. They are excellent craftsmen. In fact, I think according to lore, the Imperial Legion values them greatly as smiths and forge masters. All right, so we will. I'll go do the Winterhold stuff offline. What else do we have going on here? Am I going to follow up on Boethia's calling? No, I think what I want to do is I want to head back to Whiterun. There's some things to do there. We'll pick up some bounties and things like that. I will do in my time of need. Not a whole lot of talking with that. We do have to get the prisoner out of jail, but then there's a whole lot of fighting a bunch of Alakir warriors. And that's going to be fun. Let's see. Because in his orcish phase, Fortius is always going to choose violence. And then we can go do the Gilder Green quest line. We can fight some witches, more mages, crap. And then also some more bounties over there while we're at it, I think. Okay, yeah, let's go do that. Back to Whiterun. Let's see here. Notably, you need 90% reliability to actually convict someone of a crime. It seems so subjective, though. So just like arbitrary and subjective, those numbers. Oh, you're playing an orc character? Let's hear about your orc character, Haster. If you haven't already posted.
They say Yorland Greymane crafts weapons that...
The longer we travel the roads, take a look.
Okay, I always just buy all the ingredients they have to offer here. These staves, we won't need too many of those. Ice storms, that's a powerful one though. Deadly Frost, I think we have this one already, but I'm not going to sell it off just yet. Ancient Nord arrows, I don't need. We have better ones. Dark arrows are pretty nice though, we'll hold on to those. Haven't been doing a lot of archery yet. I guess in the orc phase we're more about pure bludgeoning. And about skillful shooting. It's good enough.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
Thank you, Mr. Khajiit. Back into the 90s here again today, and I really want to go to the beach. Nice. I don't know, I feel like the wife and I are allergic to the sun or something. We're not in a good place for that. Maybe it's just because the sun is so much more powerful over here than it is in a lot of other places. But, you know, spend too much time in the sun here and you might actually die. So we spend most of our time trying to stay out of the sun. So trying to get more of it. We had one day under 80 this entire summer, which was 2 days ago with rain. Yeah, I feel like we've had more days over 110 than we have under 110 lately this summer. And we get an extreme heat warning. Everybody on their phone gets an extreme heat warning through the weather service or whatever here. When it was going to be 100 degrees or more before at like 6 a.m. or something like that. We've had one like every day this summer. It's been completely nutty. Anyone play Elden Ring? I know Karn and I did do. Yeah, I haven't gotten back into Elden Ring. I'll get the itch for it at some point. I'll probably wait for a sale on Shadow of the Erd Tree. But everybody seems to really love the expansion. Yeah, I did get through the main base game of Elden Ring in the year that it came out. And I picked that one as my favorite over God of War Ragnarok that year. Just barely, because they're both fantastic games, but yeah, that was a grind, man. It's not that it wasn't fun. I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite game that year, like I said, but it was work. That game will test you. To quote Gorza, Tacitus, a nail? In the Legion we call it useless. Yes, indeed. Both Gorza and her brother were blacksmiths for the Legion, I believe.
Divine smile on you, friend. Spells and incantations for those.
Okay, we do need some filled soul gems here. Let's grab some smaller ones while we're here. We need to fill up some of our weapons with it. The saber for sure needs something. It's a little love there. Let's see how Volendrung is. Oh, Volendrung's really low. Okay. Part of Zim's immersive artifacts, though, are that the Daedric weapons do have a vast amount of charge to them, so that does help. They do last a while. What am I doing here? 9:10 p.m. Let's see. The steward's not out. Let's go ahead and talk to the prisoner. $62 Fahrenheit. Oh, I would kill somebody for 62 Fahrenheit. Not somebody important, like just, you know, somebody that nobody would miss. I'm not that much of a bloodthirsty bastard, but yeah. 62 sounds amazing. 110, he says it. Yeah, no, we would be dead without central air here. That sucks. I feel really bad for the homeless people around here. We've had like dozens of deaths. I think a lot of people died this year in the heat. It's really sad. There's just no respite from it. If you don't like have a home or air conditioning. Just started a couple months ago, put in 300-ish or so hours, bought a PS5 to play it on and defaulted my PS4 and had to start over after 300 hours. Thankfully, I had charges on Xbox. Nice. Cool, man. $64, 62 is not cold. 62 is perfect.
What are you looking at?
I would go out in shorts and a t-shirt in 62 and just drink it up. So nice.
You have a death wish then? If you know that name.
It's indeed stressful. Definitely letting out some demons with this game. My knuckles hurt. I have a punching bag that I punch when it pushes my limits. Got to take breaks from it. I actually never did. I was raging more against these backpedaling mages that I was facing just now than I did against Elden Ring. I didn't get mad at Elden Ring at all, even if I would have to replay a boss, you know, 20 times, 50 times. I don't know. It always seemed fair to me. I never felt like I was getting the shaft.
100 gold will secure. I suppose you'd get the money into the hands of one of these guards, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
So it wasn't that. It was, for me, it was the constant looking up of, okay, what does this stat do? What stat do I need for this weapon? What stats do I need to equip this gear type thing? That, it was the back and forth on the wikis and things like that, just to learn the game. And then also, like, where do I find this weapon? Where do I find this spell? That was a lot of time on the wiki as well. God, I can't reach you, Alakir warrior. Come on, get a little closer. Speaking of rage. Come on over here. I paid your fine. I just need to be able to talk to you. There you go.
What are you looking at? You buy my way out of here, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
That's pants weather? Yeah, you don't need pants in 62. Have lived Florida for a decade, and I have been on the beach once. Yeah, Florida, the beach scene, the night life is not my kind of thing. And without that, you're just kind of in a swamp. So I'll pass on Florida, thanks. Your fine's been paid. Now tell me about Kamatu.
Very well. Kamatu is west of Whiterun. It's an unassuming little cave called Swindler's Den. You realize if you
I want to go see a baseball game in every stadium, every MLB stadium in the country though, so I will be visiting Florida at some point.
Now set me free.
Sorry, my ears aren't so good. You say something?
Try to give him the runaround. Let's see. Oh, I've gotten a lot better at 380 hours. I do tons of testing, have the best optimal build. I do a lot of research and planning on this game to find... Yeah, that's... I have 150 hours in the game. I rolled credits after 150, but I actually did spend a lot more time with the game, just not in the game, because of just research, looking up guides, build guides to figure out how the builds worked in the game. But yeah, it's such a huge open world, and very important, powerful things are just scattered all over the place. So you can make the game easier if you do your due diligence and, you know, get all the golden seeds and upgrade your flask and all that. And it sounds like it's no different in the expansion. So I'm just not ready for that dive, that deep dive again, right? I will be at some point. I'll get the itch to play it again, but yeah, for now I'm I'm good playing playing lighter games. Might be a little closer here. Don't want to spawn right into a giant camp. You agree with Karn on the weather? Yeah. Guess I really shouldn't complain where I live then. We never have natural disasters here. No crime, lots of space. Weather isn't really bad, just winter. Yeah, you got to deal with the snow in the winter. Yeah, I always like my visits to that area. Even in the summer when it's hot and humid, it gets sticky, right? If you have your gold bond ready, you keep that thigh chafe down, then you're good. It always feels like a respite for me visiting during the summer. We used to, before my dog started getting old, and started having just a few minor health issues here and there. The wife and I used to take a small summer vacation to the Scranton area, and it always felt like a respite from the summer heat from here. Get to spend a lot more time outdoors. It does get humid. It gets a lot more humid there than it is here, but yeah, just toss some gold bond down your pants and you're good to go. And if you're not like taking long walks in the park or anything like that, then the humidity actually isn't too much of an issue. Getting cool at night without central air conditioning though can be an issue. The air just it feels heavier trying to breathe. So I will give you that. It does get tough there in the summer, trying to sleep at night when you just can't get cool. Okay, do we have anybody standing watch here? Yeah, we do. How's it going, buddy?
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Nothing doing, huh? Talked a big game, and he pulled out both of those weapons, and he was starting to get all fancy with some kind of big spin. Ooh, sand scorpion. I'll take that. Getting all fancy, spinning those weapons around, and then I just bash him once, and he falls over. Lightweight. All bark, no bite. Good old duck butter. Arizona doesn't get humid. Actually, it does. We're in our monsoon season right now, so you do feel the humidity here right now. And if you don't get rain to kind of cut through it, then it'll sit on you. It'll sit on you like a wet coat. Lots of duck butter during monsoon season if it doesn't rain. Oh. Swing and a miss. Overshot him. Archer, your arrows do not hurt me. Let's see. Yeah, nothing. Regenerated that health easily. Now, if that were like a bandit highwayman shooting me or something, that would have hurt a little bit more, but yeah, the armor rating is good enough now. We can take a few shots and be okay. Okay, the next area can be tough though. Let's try to be a little more tactical about this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rush the balcony. Try to take care of those guys up there before I take care of the Viper pit down below. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong dungeon, I think. Oh, mistimed the power attack there.
Not this ends now.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit, but I'm okay.
You'll be so much easier to rob when you're dead.
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit more. Bandit Outlaw. Still can take it, though. Regen rates are good. Should be back at full life in no time. Take some of the expensive gear. Take some charred skeever hide. Looks delicious. Don't mind if I do.
Bandits. I love killing bandits. Probably my second favorite.
We can do bonfires any night, really. We all have fire pits of some kind. Yeah, we do too. But you know, you don't want to sit next to a fire in the summer. But yeah, we have fire pits. We do s'mores and stuff when the weather cools down. It's nice out there. We just had our back patio redone. It's super nice out there. We'll have some friends over, nieces, nephews, and all that to do some s'mores. Florida man telling Shrek to get out of his swamp. Northern AZ, like Flagstaff, you can go snowboarding, and it's like a forest. Yeah, we can. We're kind of like Skyrim in that we're mostly desert, so we're not Skyrim like that. But we do have some different biomes. We have the forest, we have desert, we have some more deciduous type stuff with like oak and stuff in Sedona. Some nice places.
Killing sellswords is right up.
Snowball in Flagstaff has been suffering a little bit. They've not been getting as much snow as they would have liked, so they've been having to import it. Yikes. Okay, yeah, that mage up there. We got to get up there.
Picked a bad time to get lost, friend. Not impressed.
Can't wait to count out your toys.
How did that miss?
On my wall.
Okay. Okay. Let's try to use this to pinch them. Pinch them off like a turd.
Now you'll pay.
What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do?
And the archers can backpedal faster than I can move forward too. I need to get the perk that allows me to move at full speed while I'm blocking. That's going to be the only way to deal with these ranged bastards. Okay, now we have a mage up here. We're going to be using Spellbreaker for that. Got stuck in that idol. There we go, we're better now. Where's the mage? Did Gore take care of the mage? Yeah, there he is. Don't know why he wasn't attacking me earlier.
Pay for that? Leave Skyrim alive.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, tundra and deserts have a lot in common. Or tundra, I guess tundras is not a word. Lots of stuff to sell here. Training is expensive, like I mentioned. I almost said expensive and mentioned in the same one. Expensioned. As I expensioned. So taking all the stuff that I can sell, all the crafting materials are good too. Just don't want to get bogged down with stuff that it isn't worth much. Okay. Let's take on the Alakir now, huh? Watch out for the traps. Actually, might be able to use these if I can drag them back over, but then I'll probably just get Gore or myself with them. Okay, let's see here. Catch up here. To be honest, if anyone wants to appreciate their weather in their country, just visit a desert area like Saudi Arabia or Africa. Oh yeah, no. The Middle East deserts have been, they've been having a lot of heat-related deaths over there this year. It's been like insane for them. Reached 53 degrees Celsius, and my friend from Saudi Arabia said this is nothing. That's crazy. That is insane. UAE, I've been to all those places. Kuwait, UAE, Afghanistan, hot and humid, especially Dubai. We have some contractors that we work with in India for my job, and we do a lot of work on computers and stuff, and we were asking like why their computers were running so slow, and the guy there was saying, yeah, it's because it's so hot all the time. They don't have a lot of central air conditioning, so it's like their computer can't. There's no like cooler air to get for the ventilation systems for the fans to suck in for their computers. So their computers are constantly throttled because of heat all the time, and also because of like the sweat on their hands and stuff. Like the trackpads on their laptops don't work as well. Man, yeah, I'm much happier here than I would be there for sure. Oh yeah, some very beautiful places of architecture, and it's amazing what they've been able to do out there despite the heat. Some of their technology, especially like their anti-drought technology and stuff, is quite amazing. Couldn't even touch the tool. You got to use gloves on everything. Got up to 123. It gets to 123 here sometimes too. It's, yeah, you don't touch metal when you're out there. Nope, I'll stick with my humid summers and cold winters. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is the way. Me and my daughter just made s'mores and a quesadilla on the fire. We could make s'mores and quesadillas just on our cars out here right now. A coworker made cookies on his car the other day. Just set a cooking sheet out on his car in the sun, and the cookies cooked themselves, and they were delicious. They looked a little melty at times, but they tasted really good. It's a cool city. You can go scuba. Yeah, it's a very touristy out there. Scuba diving with a whale shark? That's awesome. I'm in Georgia, so it's just hot in the summer. Much more humid in Georgia than it is here for sure. But it does get hot as well. Some of the nasty troll dens, you could probably make use of Smellbreaker. Good one. Joe wins. All right. Let's show these Redgars what an Imperial can do with the strength of an Orc.
I think you and I have some things to talk about.
All right, let's do a quick save here because I am not as confident as Fortius is right now. Probably gonna have to pop some potions, make sure we're using Rallying Standard and Clothing the Star as we need it.
You have proven your skill in combat.
Indeed we have.
Talk a moment, and no one else needs to die. I think we can all
I beg to differ.
From the situation in which we find ourselves. My men will not attack you if you will lower your weapons.
What are the upcoming plans and phases with the warrior? I'll talk about that once I'm through this. I'm gonna need to concentrate on this, but remind me if I don't when we're done with this.
Of course. Senpai, what is it that she's calling herself these days? Shazra? Sadia? One of those, correct? Did she appeal to you?
I have proven my strength, but there's still more strength to be had, and I'm only gonna get that through combat, forged by fire and all that.
You that she's the victim. But do you know why we pursue her?
I was hired to kill you, and that's what I intend to do.
I'd hoped we could work something out. That you would see reason. That we could avoid having to kill you. Very well then. If that's the way you want to play it.
Try it, punk. We got some heavy armor. We got fortified block. We have one-handed, two-handed, just in case. We'll do regenerate stamina. Don't think we're going to need any resistances. I'm going to skip the archery because of... these are just going to be too close quarters. I might be able to kite them back out to that balcony where we fought all the marauders and stuff, but... that's going to be really inefficient. Let's go for some paralysis here instead.
We will. You never should have come here.
We are taking these shots without much of an issue, actually. You get some hammer. You get some hammer. Yeah, try blocking that one. I dare ya. There goes Kamatu. He's in the drink. So many kill cams. Oh, this is epic. Oh, and you got disarmed. Whew. Well, that was fun. How'd I do, Gore? And you better say that I was immaculate. Take some more of these high value items here. Training is expensive, and I intend to do a lot of it before we level up here, if I haven't already. Anybody else here that's not already naked? Yeah, here we go. Some fancy equipment these Alakir were wielding. Where you going, Gore? I need you to carry my shit.
Yeah.
All the heavy stuff, if you don't mind. Okay, so what are the plans for the... Actually, I'm kind of sad to see the Orcish one go, the Orcish phase, because I'm having a lot of fun here. I'm screaming, yelling at the screen, picking fights all over the place. It's been pretty much non-stop action, you know, when we were not freezing outside of Windhelm. Oh, Gore begs to differ, though. He's so bored he's going to take a nap. I think the next one is going to be the Nord carved stuff. And then we also have Daedric and Dragonbone coming up. For Daedric, I think we might lean into a Daedric Prince or two. Maybe take on some of their artifacts as well. And depending on the Daedric Prince that we're worshipping, we'll be taking on the more charming character traits of that as well. So like Boethia actually isn't going to be much different than the orcs. It's just going to be a little less honor, a little more deception. Mafala kind of the same way. And then with the dragon bones, we'll be taking on like aspects of the dragon. So kind of like very skilled, very powerful, very smart, but also arrogant. So we'll be taking on some of that stuff too. And I haven't really fleshed all that stuff out in my mind yet. I'm kind of just like eyes on the present, instead of the horizon, like Farkas says. We also have our companions quest line to go through, so we'll be doing a companions phase as well. I'm probably not going to lean too much into the werewolf stuff, because in order to do that, you got to kind of be with the unarmed light armor stuff, and there's some magic stuff through Okado's Recital and Spellscribe to really leverage the vampire form. You need some of that stuff, and as a pure warrior, that's just kind of hard to do. So we won't be leaning into the werewolf side of things, but we will be leaning into like the sense of honor and the whole Ysgramor type stuff. So we'll be doing more of like a knight in shining armor phase for that one. What else? I was wanting to use the ebony plate stuff because that looks really smexy as hell. This is the alternate armor for the ebony, and it's all enchanted. It's got some powerful enchantments on it. Gore is wielding that right now. I was gonna kind of take that as a hand-me-down, but I don't know what to use with it. I don't know what personality ebony has. It's just kind of a material more than it is like a racial thing, right? So I don't know if you guys have any opinions on how I can roleplay the ebony stuff. Let me know, because I would like to have that as an option. It definitely looks cool. We could go Dark Knight type stuff, not like Batman, but like a Black Knight. Maybe more of an agent of evil. Maybe we'll wield that with like Mafala's blade or something. The ebony blade. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll take on the ebony aspects of things, like we'll do the ebony blade, the ebony mail, and then we'll do some ebony ebony gear to go with it. I don't know, just a thought. Look in chat, Karn. You guys are trying to get my okay. I'm coming back. Melted butter by putting it outside. Try it, punk, then stop time to drink potion. Of course. I can dish it out more than I can take it. Actually, with this guy, I can take it pretty well. He's at armor cap now, but he wasn't taking much damage there, getting pelted by the Alakir. Those guys are usually stronger. Oh, we got some ads. Ads inserted. I don't know how long those ads are gonna last, but for people who have premium or whatever, just tossing some idea salads. Gross. Plans and phases reminder. Handing out hammer smashed faces for free. Nice. Anyone did the Wheel of Time mod? I've never done the Wheel of Time. Let me know how it is though. I'll look into it. Umbra for Daedric? Okay, I like Umbra. Umbra kind of fits with the ebony too because it's dark, right? Boethia artifact and Mephala sword. Yeah, that's I was kind of getting there. Heavy armored shinobi phase. But with a pure warrior, we're not really doing any kind of stealth. It kind of goes against the pure warrior stuff. So I think we might be able to do agility though. You know, that's all in the light armor. That might be tough. Shinobi might be tough. Why not samurai phase? We can do I actually fully intend on doing a samurai phase with the Akaviri armor and the swords once we do the main quest line. Blades, boots, and gauntlets look good with the ebony mail, ebony blade. Like an armor-clad shinobi. Yeah, I think we were going the same direction with the ebony blade and the ebony mail. I think that would be cool. That would be really cool. Shadow Rend is another good call on that one. Shadow Rend and the Umbra sword. These are different phases that are kind of semi-related. Yeah, that's going to be fun when we get there. No stealth like Ryu from Ninja Gaiden. Yes, I see. To really fully enable that, though, I would like to have access to some magic, and with a pure warrior, we don't really have that. So, like Spell Scribe, Nightblade from a lot of stuff from the Triumvirate Shadow stuff. It would be like the warrior phase of my Shadow Ninja build. Very, very agile, very powerful. One-hit attacks. Man, Ninja Gaiden, those were cool games. Good call on that one. I should make a Ryu. It was Ryu Hayabusa, right? Should make a Ryu Hayabusa build at some point. It's a lot like the Shadow Ninja, but like less stealth and more just leaning into the warrior part of it. That'd be cool as hell. And there were different like weapons and stuff in that game. They do have a Steam port for Ninja Gaiden now too. It's been out for a few years. It's a very, very basic port. It was pretty much just lowest common denominator, put it out type thing. Because I think that's Konami, right? No, that was Tecmo. It's Team Ninja. Yeah, it was a very bare bolts port, but apparently it was functional. I think I have it actually in my backlog. Like I suggested before, replace mana with Rage of Fury. Yeah, I want to do that with a separate build though, because I've already done things with this build that really cripple my magicka. So my magicka pools are extremely limited because I didn't plan on ever using them. So I think that would work better with a completely different build concept. What I'm kind of thinking is a dual wield kind of like berserker barbarian build, with enchantments, absorb magicka enchantments on it, and then I can use that magicka to do things like flame cloaks or other kind of more brutalistic spells. Like I think that there's a flame spell in Arcanum that causes knockback, a stagger, if the enemy's blocking, things like that, and I can hook that up to spell scribe, or I can just cast it raw. It's still kind of just primordial ooze in my brain right now, still forming into something coherent. But I did really like the idea. You giving yourself some good ideas too? Nice. That's what these streams are all about, right? Yeah, but for this character, at this point, we can't rely on magicka. We just can't. We can rely on enchantments. What are you doing over there? I didn't know this was a sandboxing trigger. That's funny. This might be during Kodlak's attack, if somebody's over here like panting from the Silver Hand assault. Okay, all I have to do now is turn this into Sadia and we're done. Let's go ahead and do that, and then what I'm going to do is level up. I think that would be a good way to cap off the end of this stream. We'll do our training, we'll take our level ups, and we'll talk about perks and what's next. I haven't actually even opened the perk menu at all this stream because I was saving that level up for if I needed it, or if I needed more money for training and things like that.
Let me know if you want anything.
But we will take a look at the perk tree here real soon. Let's I think Sadia gives me some money. Not a huge chunk, but she will give us some. Sadia.
Any news of the Alakir?
How you doing, baby? Man, she's like one of the best looking NPCs with this. I love like the dark skin and the long curly hair, but with the combo with the blue eyes. Very attractive.
At last, I can rest safely. You have done me a great service, warrior. I cannot thank you enough. Take this reward. I managed to sneak some of my wealth out of Hammerfell when I left. It's the least I
think it's most likely that she is lying to us other than the Alakir.
You are always welcome in the Bannered Mare. Until next time.
How are we doing over here? Are you thirsty? Hungry?
Okay. All right, let's see. We need to, let's grab a bed. I'm not running I need, so we don't need. Well, let's get a bounty while we're here too. Kill a giant, no problem.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
I'm not running I need, so I don't need to sleep. I'm not going to get a debuff if I don't.
I understand.
But I do want the that well-rested bonus if we're going to do some training.
But then you'd be its only citizen.
Ah.
I don't have to take that from you.
Yeah, with all these phases, it's going to make an end game build a little more difficult because there are all kinds of like viable strategies and builds that you can make out of this guy already, right? For the samurai phase, you could dual wield katanas like Miyamoto Musashi.
This is an ode to
Yes, we can, but I think the dual wielding stuff is going to stretch us a little thin. We're already stretched thin because we have 3 different weapon types. So we have to be very judicious if we're making a level 50 build. We only have 50 perk points to work with. And I think that dual wielding is going to drain that. This is just going to drain that too fast. So I would like to lean into the blocking aspect of it as well. Because in my opinion, the block bash is the most potent skill in the entire game for melee warriors. So I want to kind of be able to leverage that as well. But that would be a good stretch goal. Dual wielding would be a good stretch goal for this guy. If I play like to a level 100 or something with this guy, which I probably eventually will, I do with most of my characters. Branching into that dual wield thing is definitely doable once you have more perks. Scrolls, like ninja scrolls? Nice, okay. Yeah, scrolls work. But it's still the physical act of casting something, right? Scrolls, I think, were made for non-mage characters to cast spells, so maybe that's something we can do. The problem with scrolls is they're completely unreliable unless you have a scroll writing mod. They're completely unreliable which ones you get, so you kind of gotta give yourself the luck of the draw, which is hard for like a well-defined character build, trying to rely on something that's random like that. I'm not putting the kibosh on it. I'm just walking through in my head the challenges of something like that. Like I suggested, report. Yep. You can use the shadows to your advantage if need be too with Ebony Mail. I'm using Zim's immersive artifact, so Ebony Mail actually does something different. I think it gives you a flame shell, so it's more of like a mage killer, dragon killer. Actually, we can look at that right now. I have add item menu installed. So with the Zims, Ebony Mail will give you a fire shield in combat that increases armor and fire resistance by 70 points. Not bad, and it does muffle your movement. So you're right. We could go sneaky if we needed to. This could work for some of the espionage type, like I think that there's a mission with the Imperial Legion where you can, where you have to sneak into Shadow Mist. Is it Shadow Mist? Mistvale Keep, the palace in Riften, to kind of sneak around back there, and I think maybe one in Markarth as well. So the Ebony Mail will work well for that. What time is it? 8:31. All right, let's start selling some stuff off here. Let's stop at Dragon Reach first so that we can make use of the enchanter. We can disenchant anything. That's why we're all here in chat, to help trigger some ideas for you. Absolutely, I love this shit. All right. Scrolls. Katana and Wakizashi. If I do a dual wield, I do want to do it like a dedicated dual wield build guide, because there are some dual wielding is a tough build. It's a very specialized build, and like I said, your block bash is your most important melee tool in this game for pretty much any class. And if you do a dual wield build, if you're not running like a dual wield blocking mod, then you kind of get rid of your most important melee tool in the game, and you have to find a way around it, which makes it a very interesting challenge. The trade-off that you get is just an insane amount of offensive output.
What do you need?
And you get a lot of attacks within a certain period of time, and so you can leverage your enchantments a lot better there too, because your enchantments will proc off a lot more often because of the increased attack speed for those dual wield power attacks. And to leverage that even more, you can put a dagger in your offhand instead of like a Wakizashi or something, and you will get the benefit of the attack speed of the weapon in your left hand for those dual wield attacks and the dual wield power attacks. So if I do a dual wield build, they'll almost always have a dagger in their offhand to get the attack speed. Otherwise, you're kind of nerfing yourself. Which is not the end of the world, right? I nerf myself all the time. In order to leverage or pursue a very unique, nuanced build concept. Wow, that was the only thing I had to disenchant out of all of this. Rough, man. All right, well, let's see what Farengar wants to buy.
Divine smile.
Buy some soul gems off of him too, most likely, if we have enough money.
Figured for a mage. I think you'll
yeah, I'll take your grand soul gems here. Sell you back some of this stuff to make my money back so I can actually do some training. Boethia is proving I can display in Ryek's End, but actually I haven't been using that too much. So I'll get rid of that now. Ritual Shroud of Boethia. We're not going to be using this. We'll sell that off. We'll save that one for Magus's Shadow Cat. Magus's Punch Cat. Necromancer's Amulet. This is also a unique item that I can display in certain player homes, but we're not going to be using it, so I'd rather have the money right now. Lots of good scrolls here that I'm just selling off. Probably pissing off Silent Echo there. Ring of the Wind. We might be using that one at some point. Yeah, the rest of this stuff I'm going to save as enchantment fodder for progressing that skill.
What do you need?
Orc Strength spell is really strong. Is there a scroll version of that? I would really go with the Orc phase, that's for sure. You were talking about not using magic, so I suggested scrolls. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I gotcha. It is an option for sure. And usually when I do a warrior build like this, if I do a non-mage class, even like if I'm doing like a permadeath run or a Shadow of Skyrim type mod run or something like that, there is no more Punch Cat. Does not exist anymore. Okay, it's a claw cat now, right? You're not using punches. Feline Fisticuff. There you go. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the scrolls. Yeah, usually if like a permadeath run or some kind of like hardcore survival or Shadow of Skyrim or something like that, I'll allow myself the use of scrolls for a pure non-mage class, and I gave myself the same allowance with this guy too. I just haven't really found the opportunity, because with scrolls, if you're using those to deal damage, especially crowd control, I think it would work a little better. But if you're using them to deal direct damage, then that's weapon skill progression that you're not getting, especially earlier in the game. So it makes more sense to use them later or end game, I think.
All right then. Yeah.
All right, let's give him all of our crafting materials. Oops.
About time, friend. Here I was thinking I was going to have to kill something.
I want to give him my
you.
crafting materials, see if that's enough to unencumber me.
Everything's better.
My mage character has that ease burden spell, which is it's like taking a potion of strength. It's very nice. I love that thing. And right now, the most reliable way I have of getting spells, scrolls, because they're still very rare to find them in loot as like leveled loot, right? Is buying them at a vendor, and they are very expensive. So you have to have the coin for it. And right now, I'm using that coin for training for skill progression. So I do like the scroll idea. That might unlock some very nice potential, especially in some of these other phases for the warrior. It definitely will add some gameplay juice to an otherwise dry playstyle. So yes, scrolls is a good thing to lean into, but I think it's more of an end game thing. Once you got an abundance of gold, you don't have any more skill progression to get through, stuff like that. The bard from your permadeath series that you successfully completed was a good dual wield build. Yeah, he actually also had the advantage of the enchantment and alchemy. Yeah, did not get rid of nearly enough. Okay, we'll be doing some dodge rolling, because I really don't want to do any more build inventory management. Hey, there's Acid Rain. Welcome, welcome. Shouts, we'll definitely be leaning into shouts. Absolutely. We just haven't killed a dragon yet, so we haven't kicked off the main quest line, but we'll get there. Shouts are definitely going to be used. Sell them, absolutely. I don't care if they're unique or not. If we're not going to use them, we're going to sell them. Do I have anything to sell you?
Take a look.
With Triumvirate, she is a spell vendor. Sell her some of this stuff. Do I have silver garnet? Gold sapphire string, gold necklace. Not much. Oh, I can sell this off. Do you have any soul gems? No soul gems. All right.
Grace of Kinnereth be with you.
So the speed enchantment on one of the anniversary swords actually increases dual wield speed. Oh, it does. Which sword is that? Do you know off the top of your head? Nobody?
I think Thoron's still alive, but I know better.
Hey, thanks for the shout, Haster, for Mel. Shadow Claw, good sir. I was purposely saying it wrong to get a rise out of you, Magus. Because it's so fun to do, and it's so easy. Okay, the Alakir stuff we can get rid of. This is heavy armor stuff. We could do an Alakir phase at some point too. That might be fun. But not now. Sand Scorpion, that's not really an Imperial thing. I'm gonna hold on to Sand Scorpion. Good looking scimitar. Might be using it at some point. All right, what do we have here for 42? Steel Tonto. 22. We'll give him a 6 septum tip. There we go. We're getting a little framey here. Should be doing better than 50 FPS. Yeah, no, we're all right. It's just a bad spot with the fog and everything, I guess. You want to know too? Yeah, because usually with an enchantment, that nullifies your elemental. That shout. What is that? The elemental something shout that makes your attack speed a lot higher. If you already have an enchantment on those weapons, that's kind of null and void at that point. Oh my god, my cloak is looking ridiculous. You can see his little butt walking. The cloak all to the side. Might make some people in chat happy.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
So having, yeah, like if there's a CC sword that increases your attack speed, I would love to know it. Elemental Fury, yeah. That's the one. Good call, Mel. And Silent. Elemental Furry. That's something I would not like to see.
Or deal some damage.
Ebony Dagger of Healing, huh? Heals the target 50 points. Is there anything we can do with this? This would be a good paladin one if you had the one that made your healing effects cause damage to enemies. I don't think this is something we'll be using as a warrior, though. Interesting, though. Very interesting. Grappling. 10% chance to steal a humanoid target's equipped weapons. Damn, these are some nice enchantments. Well done, Anai, on this 4.0. Unless this was something that was in 3.0 too. Man, that's a lot of money though. 4,000? I think we have the loot to afford it though. I'm taking it. Daylight, I think we have already. Animus, I think we have that already too. Deadly Frost, we definitely have that. sell off all of these. I guess we already had the one-handed enchantment too. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Don't need it. Light armor. Bleh. All right, now we're down to 65. Perfect. All right, what else do we have now in armor that we can sell? Or that we can buy? We don't have already. Major health, I think we have that one. Health, we have it. Courage, from power attacks and bashes. I think we might already have that too. Recharges weapons. This could be useful. I'm not sure if we already have this one or not. It's cheap though. Cheap for an enchanted piece. Let's go ahead and buy that, and we'll see if we can disenchant it a little later. It's the variant of the one you find in the Ratway. Oh, Dawnfang or Duskfang? Interesting. I didn't know that attack speed was part of that. I'll have to look. We could go do that one too next time we stream this guy. Elemental Furry, would that basically be like troubles with triples? Troubles for some, but pleasures for others, I suppose. It's all a matter of perspective, right? Furries are odd indeed, yes. But hey, they're doing their thing. We're all doing our thing. It's a free country. Let's see. It's the variant of the one your Oathbirth looks pretty dang good, Karn. Yeah. I forget what modifies him. It was a slip. You know this crew is gonna run with it though, Mel. Let's see. Your Oathbirth is good. Dawn and Duskfang. Yes. That's the only one I know of, the CC stuff that you get in the Ratway anyway. There's the one that you get in the Ratway, and there's one that you get in like Faldar's Tooth or something like that. So something like 7% speed, which considering how attack speed works in vanilla is actually a significant increase because it modifies the modified attack speed. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. That sounds very interesting. For a melee warrior character, getting a little so attack speed is basically attack damage as well, right? Because that translates to how many times you can attack in a second. That will translate to damage output. That will translate to DPS. So an attack speed buff is basically a damage buff. So for a warrior, if that stacks on top of everything else, that would be really amazing.
Good
Very interesting.
business.
I'll have to look into that. And we are no longer cucumbered. And the peasants rejoiced. DPS, yes, that's what I was going for. Less of a concern for like stealth characters where you're just really going for that one-shot damage. But for combat characters, DPS is king.
Let me know if you see anything you like. Hello, friend. In the bows and
So the
arrows
more
for
you
the
can
mighty
attack,
huntsman.
basically the more damage you're going to do. Very, very important. Not going to use any of these. The rest of these I might make use of. That dagger we don't need. Ebony Bow of Grappling, we're going to try to disenchant that one. We're going to try to disenchant that one. We're going to sell the rest of these off.
Thank you very
And
much for your
Adrian.
business.
And then we'll go get some training and we'll do some leveling up. We probably have more than one level up at this point too, which is nice because I don't think we leveled up once at all with this guy last time I streamed him.
How's it going? The finest weapons and armor.
This stream was very action dense. I like it.
Good luck.
All right, let's sprint back up to Dragon's Reach. Actually, we can just fast travel up there. I don't know which is faster at this point. What are your plans for the Thief arc? Yeah, I'm going to go Argonian for the Thief. The Argonian's name, I think, is going to be Collects Many Things. Which is kind of a dead giveaway that the Argonian might be a thief, right? For the Thief, He's less of a streaming character, although I wouldn't be opposed to streaming him at some point, but I kind of want to do a Guide to Better Thieving series with the Argonian Thief. And I want to use Shadow of Skyrim with that one. And I want it to be like a methodical, strategic, tactical way of going through and getting these thieving jobs done, and kind of make a challenge out of it, and make some separate videos with it, and kind of give some pro tips here and there about how to make your thieving experience better. Because if you just do the jobs and save scum your way through it, you know, you'll get through it, right? But it's not going to be as fun as if you actually take the time to case the joint, get the person's schedule and all that if you're doing a fishing job for the pickpocketing, but also like plotting out your escape route just in case you get caught is a ton of fun. And I want to kind of portray that. And that's a lot easier to do in a recorded format than it is to do in a live stream. But yeah, I might live stream him here or there. We'll see. We'll see. But I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't created him yet. Been a little too busy at work. And then when I'm not working, I've been kind of fleshing out the mage and the warrior character a little bit. So things are in the works. I've also been working on another Starfield character. I know, much to the chagrin of some of you. But the Starfield character I'm working on is an explosioneer type build. So he's leveraging all the demolitions effects and all the explosive different effects and mods and guns. Some really cool sneaky little synergies in that. Okay, let's sell off these dwarven gauntlets of coalescence that ended up not needing the enchantment for because I already had it.
Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage.
But yeah, Starfield, even though the I think the general consensus on it is that a lot of the loudest players anyway don't like Starfield, but it has had a resurgence in the past couple of months with some of the updates and now the mods and things like that. I'm getting a lot more traffic on that Cyberneticist build guide than I ever have, and people chiming in to talk about just, you know, the build related things instead of just disparaging the game. So I do want to do some more Starfield content at some point. I still love the game, and I wish it hadn't fallen off the way it had, because there is some juice there for some buildcraft and some synergies and some interesting ways to play that game. And that was never really anybody's complaint about it, so it's sad that we're kind of throwing out the baby with the bathwater on that one. And now that we have mod support, there's a lot more juice for that game as well. So looking forward to getting into some of that. But yeah, Skyrim's not going anywhere. My main focus is going to be the Guardians in Skyrim. The mage, the thief, and the warrior, as it has been. All right. Okay, so we're going to do... I don't know why I'm leaving here. Everything that I need is in the companions. Let's do some heavy armor training. That seems to be the... Now that our defense is pumped up, we're not taking as much damage through heavy armor, so we're not leveling that up as much. So let's do some heavy armor, and we'll see where we're at when we level up. How much gold do we have? 15,000. That might honestly not be enough for a full round of 5 training rounds here. I think I've sold off all my loot now too. Starfield has come a long way since release. Yeah, both in the terms of official updates and unofficial mods. To me, I think the main crux of the issue with Starfield was that its lack of density. There's plenty to do in that game, but it's spread out so far that now that we have like official mod support, people are adding more stuff to the game all the time, and that's only going to help it in the long run. And a lot of official stuff is coming too. And Todd said, you know, for better or worse, he's going to be supporting that game. He wants to be supporting it for the next 10 years. Through the creation system. So, you know, we will get more stuff to do in that game. And it's only going to be better for it. But, you know, now we're going to have the unofficial modders at odds with the official mods because of, you know, we're going to be getting EXE updates all the time if they're going to be supporting it for that long.
Skior says
Is
that I have the strength
Farkas
of
heavy
these
armor?
people.
Yes, he is heavy armor.
I'll show you what I can about protecting
So,
yourself.
yeah, I'm looking forward to all that drama for sure. That's going to be fun. But, you know, Skyrim and the Fallout 4 modding community have survived just fine, even though they've been at odds with those constant updates all the time. So I think Starfield would be fine too. Okay, so I have switched from 3 stamina and 2 health for every 5 levels to 3 health and 2 stamina every 5 levels. I think I want to keep up with that. So let's see, 6, 7, 8 will be health. The next 2 in stamina. All right, we have 4 perks, and I've been banking these a little bit because there are certain perks that I want to make sure that I'm getting, and I don't really want to throw away perks on certain other perks that I need to advance. So, for example, heavy armor. I've been really wanting this out of the Inferno one. So I need to save a perk for that once we get heavy armor to 80. There's some other things that I can take that will be useful, but there's some really key perks that I want to make sure that I have the points for. And then for block, I really want to get the Unstoppable Force, which we're not there yet. That requires 90 in block. And this cast aside one, interrupting an attack with a power bash with a shield knocks the attacker to the ground. It's nice, but because it requires a power bash, that's much slower than a regular bash, and it's really hard to time that and to get an interruption of an attack on purpose with a power attack. With quick reflexes, it is much more possible, but we don't have quick reflexes either because that is not a key perk that I was going to chase. So I'm waiting till 90 to make sure that I don't throw away a perk that I don't really need until I need it. With two-handed, I really want to get Massacre going. In combat, swinging a two-handed weapon has a 10% chance to increase attack speed by 175% for 3 seconds. We were just talking about how with DPS, with a combat build, attack speed is damage, right? This multiplicatively stacks with whatever single hit damage you're doing. This is an amazing, amazing perk for anybody who does a two-handed build. And you get Enter the Arena, which guarantees that you're proccing that with every new entrance into combat. And then Voice of Rage and Ruin, which is also amazing. You have a 4% chance to proc your currently equipped power. So there are some powers that you can get either from standing stones. You could have a racial ability. What else? The stones in Solstheim, the Allmaker stones, things like that. And 4% sounds like not a lot, but if you're increasing your attack speed by 175%, that 4% it becomes more likely than not to happen during the course of a battle. So that can be pretty strong. But again, I don't have the skill to take that, but I want to make sure that I have the perks to spend on those when I get there. So I've been banking those. One-handed. One-handed doesn't have anything like Massacre or a Voice of Rage and Ruin. I think because they're trying to make room for the dual wielding stuff. I do have stuff that I can take, like this Thundering Blow, where you stack up a total of 8 or more regular attacks with a one-handed weapon, and then your next power attack is going to be this huge critical strike. This is something that's cool to chase, but then again, I do not have the skill for that either, so I have been banking that perk. And then for archery, I really want to get to trick arrows to lean into the blacksmithing part of this. Trick arrows are very powerful. They give you, like, the orc one is like a concussive blast that knocks everybody in an area down, which is amazing. Like the dwarven one gives you an explosive fire effect. I don't remember what the elven one, I think, does, like a shock damage thing that drains magicka. Yeah, and then there's freezing for the stall rim ones. Immolation Force, Maze, and Death are very interesting too. The Death one, you need a human heart. That's the ebony one, and they just cause a huge amount of damage when you hit with them. So I'm really trying to make sure that I have a perk for that too. Lion's Arrow is cool to use, but since we're not actually going to be able to dual cast any magic, Lion's Arrow is going to be useless for us. So yeah, Trick Arrows is the one I'm trying to get to. So I have 4 perks now that I could spend if I had the proper levels. But I think, unless anybody else has a good suggestion for how to spend these perks, I'm just going to bank them for when I get to those key ones. Explosioneer sounds like a highly charged character, someone who can really spark some interest, a real powder keg of a personality. Yes, his name is Billy Boom. And I've been calling him the Space Boomer. So he is actually taking on, with his roleplay, some of the more charming personality traits of boomers in our real world here. It's been a lot of fun. It's been here we go. It's been a blast to play, Joe. How do you like that? The mods I had before the CK were awesome. Yeah, and now they're just going to get even better now. Yep. Absolutely. And Scion actually has a mod planned for it now that the CK is out called Curiosity. So I am very curious as to what that's going to be. He hasn't really shared any information about that as far as I know. So we'll see about that. I think perk overhauls in Starfield are going to be harder because of the ranking system on those skills. Might be a little more fidgety. We'll see what goes on with those, but there's a lot of room for creativity there for sure. A resurgence of interest since official mod support says a lot about both the modding community as well as game development. Yeah, for better or worse, right? You would you would think that the game would stand well on its own, and that's a contentious subject on its own. I've defended the game for a long time. A lot of people in chat here don't like it. A lot of people do, and we have argued to the bone about that. And I don't think we're going to solve anything by rehashing those arguments again. But that's the way BGS has always been. Skyrim was in a stale state too before official mod support came out for that, and the modding community really took off. Fallout 4 was the same way. Oblivion was the same way. It's just the story of BGS. It maybe says something about the talent of those developers. I like the vanilla games. They don't really stick to the ribs as much as a fully modded experience does. So for better or worse, you know, they have that modding community there. You can call it a crutch, you can call it a strength. Either way, it makes their games better. And I'm here for it. My biggest gripe is that pickpocket is capped at 90% and you can't pickpocket more than that 1,000 gold. Oh, that's a Skyrim thing too. Thundering Blow, 2 thanks. Yes. Save him, Karn. Oh, you're talking about saving our perks and not our Starfield fans. I intend to save both of them. Yes. Bank always sounds good. Yeah. I'm gonna bank them. I think save them for later. It seems pretty unanimous. Unless they put out more decent content base, it'll be a lot of big titty mods and weapon and armor. Yeah, we've already gotten mostly weapon, armors, and ship mods, but that's gone a long way, honestly. There are some quest mods coming. Guaranteed that's that's how it was for Fallout 4. That's how it is for Skyrim too, honestly. The bulk of the Skyrim mods are the booby waifu mods and the weapons and armors. They do have more gameplay stuff for Skyrim than they do for Fallout 4 or Starfield for sure, and I do believe that cadence will hold for Starfield as well. But there's going to be some good stuff. There was some good gameplay stuff for Fallout 4. It's just not as popular as the gameplay stuff for Skyrim, and it's not as popular as the non-gameplay stuff for Fallout 4 and Starfield. Open to ammo creation before official. Yeah, it probably does a better job at the ammo creation too. the official way that Bethesda did the ammo creation for Starfield is still very limited in what the quantities that you can craft because of those primer resources that they limit. Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadow, I think, or something like that. That game looks sick, honestly. It's kind of sad that that's caused such an uproar. It's a video game, people. They didn't even make up the fact that there was a Black Samurai too. People are getting mad about it. Don't question the talent of the devs, but overall choices of the studio. Yeah, especially gameplay and balancing choices. They do create these simulated worlds on a level that no other developer is doing. So that is to be commended. And that comes with some major caveats too. If they're spending most of their time trying to generate these big simulated worlds where you can pretty much do anything, that does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of restriction too on their end. They have to really limit the scope of what they're doing with their game in order to make sure that it all fits in the simulation. It's a little counterintuitive to think about it like that, but when the world is your oyster, you really have to shrink things down in order to keep them manageable for like a decent release window, you know? So they do have to limit a lot of their official stuff because their gameplay engine is so wide open, just to make sure that it all works together. And it all doesn't just crash and break immediately as soon as you do something unexpected. But that's also why they put the mod tools out there, so that you can further explore this wide open game engine. It's something that no other developer does, and you have to give them credit for that. It's a video game, all right, but the government of Japan is issuing legal persecution against Ubisoft for altering historical facts, and I don't think they have a legal leg to stand on. We've been doing alternate history in fiction for a long time, and I don't think that they've ever said that this was a portrayal of actual history. They're not trying to revise history here. They're creating a unique story based on actual existing characters, right? For me, I don't see an issue with it at all. We've been doing alternate histories in fiction for so long, and nobody's had a problem with it. Well, people have had a problem with it, I think, because they take it too seriously. They don't realize that it's just an art and it's a story, right? I'm getting the feeling that most of this is just latent racism, that they don't like seeing a Black Samurai. And that's kind of the long and short of it. But the Black Samurai there is actual historical records that he was a real guy. They didn't make him up. It's not some kind of woke movement or anything. It's an actual historical figure that they're telling a story about. Changing the history to... It's not changing history, it's telling a unique story with that history as a base. It's completely different. It's not revisionist, it's telling a new story. It's the new one that's coming out this year. Ghost of Tsushima was well received. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I wouldn't even say it's most of the community. I think it's just the people who are most upset about it are the loudest ones. I think the vast majority of people don't have a problem with it and don't care at all. That game, they're not going to be able to... They might make some some changes to the game here and there just to try to appease the naysayers. But the game is going to come out. They don't have a legal leg to stand on with this stuff. And it's gonna sell gangbusters. It's gonna be maybe the highest selling game of the year, besides, you know, like the mobile stuff and Call of Duty and the sports games and things like that. The game looks amazing. It looks great. I can't wait to play it. And Assassin's Creed has been doing this. It's not just the Japanese stuff. They've been doing it. They took liberties with American history. They took liberties with Nordic history. They took liberties with Egyptian history and Greek history. It's not a problem. It's just not a problem. He was officially a samurai. He was officially a samurai. It was debatable whether or not he was actually deployed and actually fought in any real like skirmish, but he was officially a samurai. It may have been an honorary title, but he was officially a samurai, and he was trained. Yeah, I'm still not. I'm not buying into it. I would be almost willing to bet that the bulk of the Japanese gaming community probably doesn't have a problem with it. It's probably hardcore history wonks and, like I said, maybe some latent racism. You have a giant black samurai beating on little Japanese people, but you also have little Japanese people beating on little Japanese people, and little Japanese people beating on big black samurais. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. Okay, this is quickly devolving into a race war here. That's not why I stream. Okay, I think I'm gonna put an end to the stream here. We are 17 minutes over. And yeah, I know, I get the difference between the racial part of it and the cultural history part of it. I know that there's an argument to be had there, but it's fiction. It's not revisionist history. It's a new story with the same characters, and nobody's gonna get sued officially for that, I don't think. It's starting to sound like a porno. It really is. Yeah, all right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. I think we made a lot of good progress on this guy today. And I had, you know, a ton of fun. The Orcish, I'm really kind of sorry to see the Orcish phase go, guys. This was too much fun. I don't know, maybe he just stays in his Orcish phase forever. It's not about race with you, but I feel like it is, yeah, with a lot of people. No, okay, we're done. Let's not. You can hit me up on Discord if you want to continue the conversation. I may or may not be in the mood to talk about it. They're the real racists, the orcs are. Yeah, well, you know, you want to talk about racists. The Balmor are the real ones. Okay, that's it for me. Let's see, we'll do the shout outs here. We had Panic Monk in here. He's been doing his, I think Inarath is a dark elf spell sword. He's been doing deep dives into roleplay on that with sort of the character personality profile, and it's been really fascinating. He's been coming into his own with the gameplay on it now, so it's been a fun series to watch. I think I have his link in the description below. Magus80 streams all the time on Twitch. He's doing his Shadow Cat. No, it's a Shadow Claw. He's kind of like a Nightblade, an unarmed Nightblade character. Having a lot of fun with that one. He hasn't bounced off the character and nuked his setup yet, so he's having fun with it. Who else? Let's see. Acid Rain. Haster posted her Twitch link earlier, so she does stream every now and then. Not often, but she does. And who else was here today? I think that's about it. Mr. B was here earlier. He's got a Twitch channel that he does. Okay. Yep, that's it for me, guys. Thanks. Have a good weekend, and I will catch you guys around, okay? See you guys. Bye-bye.